Welcome to the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. We're here for round 2 of TA2 from the Charlotte Motor Speedway in North Carolina, the heart of NASCAR country. And we're all excited about this one because last round was in Sebring, a road course, and it was won by our TA2 champion, Rafa Matos. So he's got the start he wanted. But this is very different. This is a ROVAL. That means a road course and an oval. And who better than my good friend here and former IndyCar star, Scott Goodyear, to tell us all about this, because he knows ovals like nobody else. But this is a challenge, isn't it?
You know, drivers come here and maybe they've got road course experience like I did before I got into an IndyCar, and then I finally saw an oval. Or maybe you're growing up on ovals, especially in the Charlotte area here. Now, today, you need to be perfect on both the road course and the ovals. Very difficult. Think of when NASCAR started to do a lot of road course races. We saw a lot of guys start to go drive those road courses to get experience, even Jeff Gordon. And now we see a lot of the guys coming into Trans Am to get that experience because they think they're going to NASCAR. This is a great series, but the challenge here this weekend is the track. Good on the road course, good on the oval. You need to be a very adaptive driver, and the mechanics need to make a car that's underneath you that can drive on both. Now, I only did a couple of Trans Am races early in my career, back with no power steering, power brakes, you know, back in the beast as they are. And these cars are so terrific because the drivers are the computer, they're the traction control, they're the ABS system, because there's none of those aids on these race cars. These are true race cars.
Hello everyone, welcome to America's home for racing. And we are at Charlotte Motor Speedway for our TA race. And as you can see, we're looking down high above Charlotte Motor Speedway. And I'm joined once again by Adam Andretti. And I'm really excited because this ROVAL, you know, it's a real challenge. And just for those who don't know what a ROVAL is, because obviously we know it in NASCAR parlance, but basically it's a combination between an oval and a road course. But you've got a variation to that, right?
Absolutely. And honestly, the ROVAL, nothing's new to the Trans Am Series. We've raced at these before at Daytona International Speedway and down at Homestead as well. But what makes this one so unique is this is literally, like you said, it's a ROVAL by definition, but by definition only. This really races like a street course. Not only do you have the concrete walls of the oval portion of the road course, but we go off into turn 1 here, and it's a canyon right into here.
Well, we're looking at Natalie Decker, who's busily signing autographs, very popular as always, as she takes that lovely painted Audi R8. This is her 3rd season. As we look down on Chris Dyson, our current champion and championship leader. We got a chance to talk to Chris this morning, didn't we?
Yes, we did, and he was gracious as always with his time and race morning, staying very focused. He's championship leader. It's all about maximizing points for him. Those are his words. Every single week, that's what they're out here to do. So this is his mission is on. He scored 2 bonus points yesterday with the 2nd place qualifying, so he's just got to have a good, clean race today.
We'll also be getting pictures from Paul Menard, and Menard obviously is somebody we're going to be talking about a lot. He has so much experience around this course and this ROVAL. So he's done NASCAR and the ROVAL course here in other series, but trying it out in Trans Am. So we're watching very carefully how Dyson takes on Menard in this particular race. Let's head down to the pit lane because our man, of course, Ben Sissel, is down there. Down to you, Ben.
Thank you, Jonathan. Here we are at the Charlotte SpeedTour Grid Walk Fan Walk, and I am with the 2021 SGT Pro-Am champion who won her Classic COTA last year. You have an Xfinity package this year and a new sponsor, Natalie Decker. Welcome back, and how does it feel?
Thank you so much. It feels so good to be back at the Charlotte ROVAL. I love it here so much. And to have this beautiful car, I think I have the brightest car out there this weekend. The new paint scheme looks amazing. Plant Fuel came on board for this race in the Trans Am Series. And I'm so excited to be here. I love racing with Ave Motorsports. They make me so happy and they make me feel so welcome. And it just feels good to be back.
Nice. Thank you, Natalie. And if you're following along, Natalie is a fast racer. She's starting in the back because of a tech infraction. So now you're going to have to work your way up to the front. How does that feel?
You know, it's going to be a challenge, but I'm up for it. And I know what we got to do. We have a fast car, and I believe we can get up there.
Nice. I love it. Natalie, good luck. Coming over here, Don McMillan, Man, I've missed you. It's been like, what, 4 years since you've been with us. Welcome back. I love seeing this black Corvette out here with us.
Thank you. Yeah.
How does it feel? Have you run the ROVAL before?
I have not. I'm still in the learning curve on the ROVAL.
So from a technical side, because this is like 2 tracks in one, basically,
Right.
What are you most listening for or hearing for? What are you most worried about out there?
I don't know about worried. It's just a different sensation. This is the first time I went up on the bank, so I've just been strictly a road course up until now, so it's unique.
All right. Nice. Love it. Maybe you're going to learn how to side draft by the end of the weekend, right? Good luck, man. Thank you. All right, so we're going to come up through here, talk to Danny Lowry, and signing autographs, which is awesome for the fan walk. I love it. Danny Lowry in this beautiful Bridge Hall Porsche. And Danny, we were talking about Bridge Hall because we'll give that autograph to who it goes. See, look at that. I love it. And he's got a medal on. See, that's what it's all about. So Bridge Hall, I know that's your company. You do logistics. Explain that, because you're here. Your company's on like 4 cars this weekend. Thank you so much for supporting the drivers in the series.
You got it. Well, Bridge Hall is a digital freight platform. It marries up shippers that want to move loads with carriers that want to haul loads, and it does it autonomously. And that's the difference in the way Bridge Hall operates versus traditional transportation.
Nice. I love it. So why the Trans Am Series and Bridge Hall, why is that a good marriage for you as a sponsor?
Well, you know, Trans Am's a major road racing venue, and we need exposure with Bridge Hall, and we thought it was just a fantastic opportunity to marry up cars and Bridge Hall and Trans Am, and so we got Thomas Merrill. I knew Thomas would be on television a lot, right? And I didn't know that I could make much TV time. So we just covered everything that we could.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. Danny, thank you so much. Good luck out there. Now look at this. I got to point something out here. Look at the paint scheme livery on this. Notice it's a Griffin.
Correct.
And notice his name, Billy Griffin, our past GT champion. And man, this it's like brushed aluminum. It's just so pretty. Billy, so glad to have you back here. And then you also have other cars that you're servicing and the other series that are here in the Charlotte SpeedTour. You got a full load going.
Yep, we do the SVRA cars as well. And we only have the one Trans Am car right now. So hopefully one day we'll get more. But right now that's where we're at. We always got to look pretty, though. The car's got to be clean, bright, shiny wheels. Just looking good, you know?
That's that Southern Florida attitude, right?
Absolutely.
Now, I notice you're going a little too fast for your stickers there.
That, yep,
they can't even stay
They're
on.
falling off, right? We actually put a couple more back on this weekend because they were falling off when we were in practice this weekend. So
Nice. I love it. Billy, good luck out there. All right. Amy Ruman, ladies and gentlemen, 2-time TA champion. I'm going to come over here and interrupt her. Amy, I know that just a couple years ago you won at Daytona, which is an oval with some banking, but the banking here is about the same degree, but the radius itself, you got to be pulling more G's.
We definitely are. I mean, this track is a little bit more brutal, I feel like, than Daytona. It's a lot more bumpy. We had some struggle and some setup issues on Thursday, so we dialed that in. We had a few problems, mechanical problems in qualifying yesterday, and that's why we're kind of back here. But you know, we'll settle in and work our way up. I think this track's going to be hard on tires and attrition today. So I think if you stay in it till the end, the last 10 laps, you're going to see some good racing.
Nice. And you've been with us for a while over the last couple of years. Isn't it so nice to see fans back with us?
Oh, absolutely. I got my North Carolina fan base here. They came out with us, so we're excited to be here. And it's good to be back in action. We had a lot of fans here today and yesterday, so it's hopefully opening back up and the COVID is dying off, I hope. So it's great to be back in front of people, that's for sure.
I love it. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to come over here to Masood, but before we do that, McManus, are you new to the series? I love this car, and you were even in the wrong garage this weekend.
We're kind of new, but not really. I mean, we run maybe a race or two a year. We're basically club guys who come out, try to fill the fields, present a good car, do the best we can, and represent guys who are doing it with their, we do the best we can do. So that's what we got going on this weekend.
So, ladies and gentlemen, privateers can actually run in the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli and do really well. McManus, thank you for coming out. That's awesome. And you can't miss that car. Yeah. Masood, welcome back, dude. We didn't see you a lot. And I know that your family's watching globally right now. How does it feel to be back?
It's excellent. I'm really looking forward to it. It's first time at this track, but no, looking forward to it. It's really good. So, yes, yeah.
And are you ready for the West Coast swing? You did the West Coast swing with us last year, did really well.
Thank you. Yes, that's two of my most favorite tracks, so definitely looking forward to that. Absolutely.
Nice. Yep. Well, welcome back, Chris Dyson Racing. Let's talk about Allgram.
Allgram is it's a social media app, which is peer-to-peer encrypted, and it's truly peer-to-peer encrypted. So it truly means that your data is yours and no one can access it. Nice. So it's the first of its kind.
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Humaid Masood out here with us at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Oh, and I can't. Look at this. I can't miss Captain America, David Panterick. I did, you know. How does it feel to be at Charlotte Motor Speedway?
Well, it's one of the great racing venues in the United States. You know, anybody that's followed racing has no Charlotte, whether it be especially the World 600. You know, coming down there to Coca-Cola 600. You know, and you marvel at the guys who do the Indy 500 and fly down there and do this race. Now we're here. It's great.
That is awesome. David Panterick, good luck, man. I love the Captain America paint scheme. Tommy Dreesy in this, you know, I can check my hair in this chrome wrap here. How does it feel?
It feels really good to be out here. Just blessed. Sunday, you know, it's a great weather. We got some fierce competitors up in front of me, Dyson and Menard, and I got Thwaites next to me. So I think I'm going to try to hook on to Menard's back or Dyson's back, and it's a lot. It's 45 laps. It's 100 miles, 75 minutes. So kind of save the car a little bit best I can, and then last 10 laps, gloves are off, and just blessed to be here. And thank you to Lucas and MAV TV and
awesome.
All of Trans Am.
Tommy Dreesy with a new team, MAV TV, Lucas Oil with Paul Gentilozzi. We expect a lot out of Tommy Dreesy this year. And I'm going to come over here and talk to Chris Dyson. Chris, you and I were talking beforehand. This track is like no other that we race all weekend. I know that you're in really good shape, but this is a physically exhausting track.
Yeah, Ben, this is going to be hands down probably the most physical track we race in Trans Am, and that's saying a lot because we go to some almighty fast places with these cars, and they're making a lot of downforce, and the Pirelli tire, you know, the 2022 tires got a lot of grip. Surviving is going to be a big part of the equation today.
Nice. I love it. And your boy Greg Pickett's going to be meeting with us on the West Coast swing. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
He says, yes, sir. Awesome. Let's come over here and get with Paul Menard real quick, our pole winner, our Motul Pole Award winner. So, Paul, let me ask you real quick. Green flag drops. How are you going to keep Dyson, Dreesy, and Thwaites behind you?
It's going to be tough. You know, Dyson picked up quite a bit in qualifying, so he's got speed. We've had comfortable speed all weekend. My goal is to go through 1 and 2 clean, try to get a little bit of a gap, and then just tire management. But these guys will be on my tail the whole race, so we'll just be smart.
Nice. I love it. Paul Menard. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our fan walk, grid walk here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Adam Andretti, Jonathan, so excited to send it back to you.
Great stuff, Ben. As always, a great look and insight into the grid as we look down on Paul Menard's car. And as we've said already, this should be him in his element. He had some problems last time out at Sebring, but he'll be ready to go. And here is the grid for today's TA XGT, SGT, and GT race. Paul Menard in pole position, and alongside him, our champion, Chris Dyson, and currently leading the championship after Sebring. Tommy Dreesy starts on row 2 with Kenny Thwaites in 4th position. David Panterick, you just spoke to him a moment ago, is in 5th, and Humaid Masood is in 6th position. Amy Ruman, the former champion, in 7th. Ryan McManus, we spoke to him. Billy Griffin and Danny Lowry and Don McMillan. And Natalie Decker, who had that tech issue and starts at the back. But I expect her, having watched her, to come through here. In fact, she had pole position here last year. She is our Pro-Am champion. A beautiful view of downtown Charlotte. We are absolutely in the America's home of racing. This is NASCAR country, and so we are kind of nervous a little bit because Trans Am wants to put on a good show, especially in the hallowed halls of the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
The Queen City, Jonathan. The Queen City is what Charlotte is known as. So, yeah, it's a beautiful shot of the skyline. I lived just up the road here at Lake Norman and Mooresville, North Carolina for about 10 years, and spent a lot of time here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is hallowed ground, and especially in the NASCAR world. As David Paterick mentioned, you know, the Coca-Cola 600
yeah, absolutely.
And all the wonderful festivities that go along with that. That being a Memorial Day weekend, too, that's a special day for all us patriots out there that love this great country. And Trans Am is pure American racing, and that's what we get to see in front of us with Kent Waits with the great Franklin Road apparel. In-car, onboard shot. He's focused. He's focused forward. The great-looking livery out there, that Carolina blue, which really goes in the theme with where we're at. And this is really, weather-wise, everything just really chalking out to be a beautiful, beautiful day here, Jonathan.
Yes, the Coca-Cola 600 and the Memorial Day weekend, the Bank of America ROVAL 400. That's what this place is famous for, but we're going to bring it some Trans Am action. We'll take a short break here from Charlotte, and we'll be back with all the action in a moment.
As you can tell, I like to go fast. Our race team is really well prepared. We like to look good, but we also like to dress good, and that's why we shop at Franklin Road Apparel. I own the company, and I wear the clothes that we sell in that store. So check us out. We carry all the top brands: Baldwin, John Barbados, Billy Reed, Goodman brand, and on down the list. So come see us, Franklin Road Apparel, Franklin, Tennessee.
If your tooling isn't quite ready and you need parts, and you need more parts than just a few, or if your run is just not that big, look to the experts in low volume production, three-dimensional services. Whether it's 10, 100, or 1,000 parts, we can meet your needs. And if it's 10,000, we can do that too. Three-dimensional services delivers high-quality parts for short runs, 70% faster than industry standards. Three-dimensional services. Prototype, production, proven.
Menards is the Midwest's ultimate home improvement store. Family owned since 1958, Menards is the one-stop shop where you always save big money. Get the Midwest's best selection nationwide when you shop online at menards.com. We make it easy to complete your projects around the house, big or small. From hardware to plumbing or paint to appliances, we carry it all. Visit menards.com today to save big money at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome back as we're high above the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it's a beautiful day here, absolutely gorgeous, and we're ready to race, and I know, as you've heard from the drivers, they're ready to do the same. Alongside me, once again, Adam Andretti, and I guess the big story, not just about the ROVAL, obviously, but the big story for this year in TA is the change of tyres. They've gone bigger, they've gone better. Certainly that's what the drivers are saying. What's your take from what you've heard from the drivers?
Oh, I mean, it's all been positive. It's all been positive. To some, it's still a mystery. I know Amy is still trying to figure out, and their Ruman Racing down there is still trying to figure out exactly where they need to have the tire pressures on how the build-up's going to come up to keep the optimum amount of grip over a run. Mm-hmm. But this is really the true test for it, Jonathan, and probably the biggest test of this new tire all year long is a ROVAL configuration, because you'll never have the right front loads that you'll have all season long like you have here, so or any tire load or wheel load for that matter. So it was what Paul Menard was referring to. He wants to get and jump out front. He wants to get control of this race, and he wants to control that pace. This is a very difficult place to pass. So if you can get out front and you can just manage the areas up to the passing zones, you can certainly save your stuff and have something for the end here. And I think that's what Paul's strategy is.
Let me ask you this then. What if you do have if you do have a breaker, a full course yellow, how do the pressures change then? Because surely I would have thought they'll deflate again, or at least cool down, which therefore deflates them.
Yeah, you'll get a cool down, but at the same time, it's whatever your cold pressures are, you're never going to get lower than those. So they do calm down a little bit, and it brings the car back to you. But it's only a band-aid, so to speak, for what's coming.
Few changes. Masood only arrived Friday night. And in fact, his teammate Chris Dyson didn't mention it there, but he had an engine change. How dramatic is that? It certainly loses you time because he was stuck out here in testing. So he really did. He was telling us this morning he really didn't get much time running full speed.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't needed much time. He jumps right in and gets right up to speed, and that's what Chris was also saying. He's so proud of how quick he comes up to speed. And then look here at Amy Ruman and that beautiful number 23 McNichols Chevrolet Corvette. It's such a wonderful product that they always put out there. And Amy's a class act and a lot of talent inside that wheel or behind that wheel. And she's there ready to do battle with all these other veterans of the Trans Am series. It's a great looking grid here, Jonathan.
One thing I picked up on talking to Amy was just how bumpy that we don't get to sort of realize. Tell us about the banking. I hadn't realized. I thought it was like Daytona, which is smooth as can be.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's Sebring rough here.
Is it really?
Yeah, no, it doesn't have the holes of Sebring that you're dodging, but it bounces you around very, very, very tough. So yeah, we were talking about what shock package she was going with to try and soak some of those up and things of that sort. But yeah, it's brutally bumpy. It's deceptively bumpy out there, and I think that adds to the physicality too that Chris Dyson was talking about as well. As we're on board there with Altwell onboard camera with Chris Dyson.
Yep. Chris Dyson, we'll be keeping an eye on him. I'm looking forward to this battle with him and Menard because obviously, Chris Dyson knows exactly what he's up against. Menard has done this place a bunch of times in NASCAR. How much different do you think? I know you haven't driven necessarily what Menard has driven, but you know that.
I know what a Cup car drives like.
Exactly.
And honestly, I always would joke with my brother John. I said, you love a Trans Am car because it's everything a Cup car can't do, it does. A Cup car doesn't stop well. Well, a Trans Am car does. A Cup car doesn't turn in. Trans Am car does.
Thanks, Adam. Yeah, very good insight, as always. Let's get some more, because let's go down once again and join Ben down on the pre-grid.
Well, here I am, and what an honor it is to get to spend some time with front row Joe Nemechek, who has won both of his stock car races here this weekend with SVRA. He broke Richard Petty's record for the most NASCAR starts, and now, front row Joe, are you ready to give the most famous words in motorsports?
Absolutely. Drivers, start your engines.
Adam, it just doesn't get old. Tell me what you feel when you hear that command and you hear your engine roll out.
That's pure joy to me. I mean, it makes me count my blessings. It's humbling. It's everything all at once because everyone works so hard to make this happen, and there's so many moving pieces involved. And yeah, you certainly feel like one of the fortunate few that get to strap on the 6-point harness and pull it tight and go forward. And it's even more special in this Trans Am series, and it's really great. And having front row Joe up there, Joe Nemechek has been a mainstay in our family for quite some time. Him and John were in NASCAR together for all those years, and he's just great presence in our paddock, and we love that he's here every weekend.
It's interesting you say you just count your blessings and it's a joy, but it's also a moment of zen. I've talked to a lot of drivers and I get it. I haven't raced cars, but I get it. It's the one time in the weekend nobody's talking to you. You're on your own and you're with your thoughts, and there is that pure focus of almost zen-like, isn't it? You're on your own to do your job.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. There's a lot of times where you can't wait to get in the race car because it is that, right? It's your moment of peace. It's your alone time, if you will.
So we're going to be on board with several cars, the first of which is the Franklin Road, Kenny Thwaites, and you'll be able to see the throttle, the brake there on the red, on the B, and throttle the yellow. We've got the RPM, miles per hour, and also a nice description of where he is on track. The one is my favorite, though, and I was watching very closely at Sebring what you were doing, because we get to see your arms and hands doing the work, and it's always interesting to see how much physicality is involved in driving one of these cars.
Yeah, it's a workout, that's for sure. It was my trainer texted me this morning and said, "Do you want a nice recovery day to, put in a nice recovery?" Yeah, I would love that because this was hard work yesterday, and we're on board here with Tommy Dreese, and he's getting things warmed up, and that's what you see too. That's I think his controls are a little backwards there, because I doubt he's full throttle right now.
No, tell us a little bit about the track. It's the first time we've seen the banking with a TA car. Tell me a little bit about driving on the oval bank.
It's a more it's just where the G's pull you, right? They try to pull you out the window, and instead of out they try to pull you out the floor of the car instead of out the window of the car, and that's probably the biggest thing. It's a more of a lateral G, and lay your shoulders back in the seat and relax when you get in there, and try not to hold your head up, and those type of things will help you save your energy for the long haul, because if you're fighting it the whole time as you're pulling the G load through here, as we're on board here with Paul Menard up front, nice clear view that is. When you're doing that, that gives you that extra energy that you need towards the end.
So Paul Menard's looking to keep that view once the pace car comes off, because he's looking to win this race after trying to bounce back from a poor Sebring, and Paul Menard looking for a big race result today, and of course Dreese and Dyson will try to keep him honest. Who's your money on? You got to think that Paul Menard's got to be favourite for this.
Yeah, I try not to make predictions, but especially in this series. But I like Paul's chances if he gets that jump that he wants. I will say that Chris Dyson knows how to race this place. He'll know that you can hold the outside in turns 1 and 2, and by the time you get down here to turn 3 where they're at, you have the inside, and it's very tight here in turn 4, and you can keep that on the outside there. As Rafa Matos and I proved yesterday, you can hold side by side through there. So they're going to start gritting up here, but we get 2 pace laps, 2 warm-up laps to get everything up to temperature. As you can see, I can tell what Ken is doing here. He's getting good throttle pressure to make sure the rear tires, you don't want to spin the rears when they throw that green flag, because you want to be able to plant that power down and get that good run into turn 1.
Overtaking, where do you do it here at the ROVAL? That wasn't a joke.
Yeah, no, it's a tough place to pass. There's places that you could snooker. This is the ultimate in a chess match. Set the pass up 3 corners ahead of time. So if you're going to get a run on them down into the back straightaway chicane, if you will, which is 11, 12, 13, and 14, you're going to have to start that run way back here in turn 7, 8, and 9. Up onto the oval, and then you've got to be alongside them, because it gets really narrow really fast when you do get into that first chicane, that bus stop in the back straightaway, 11, 12, and 13.
All right, here we go. We're about to get underway for our TA, XGT, and GT race here from round 2 from the ROVAL at Charlotte Motor Speedway, America's home for racing. Paul Menard on the low side, Chris Dyson on the high side as they come out of the last turn, or midway through the last turn, and they will come towards the start.
Yeah, they'll skip this chicane on the front straightaway for starts and restarts.
Okay, and sure enough, the pace car is coming off, so we're about to go racing. Menard sizes it up, and away we go. Green flag waves. Dyson gets a good start as they head towards turn 1. They're side by side. Menard's got the inside line and should take the lead, and he does. Dreese there in the all bright blue takes the inside line, but oh no! Ken Thwaites in trouble right from the get-go and has piled straight into the barrier. What a shame for Kenny.
I think if he can find reverse, I don't think he's too hard into the barrier. I think he got it stopped in time. Find reverse, get out of there, and hopefully move on, but we'll see.
Menard leads then from Dyson and Dreese. That's your top 3. Ken Thwaites, sadly, in the barrier. What do you think happened there? I mean, it seemed like
it's really part of the racetrack from all the wind that's been blowing around here in the Concord, North Carolina area, and I believe that maybe some debris or there's paper bags up there, plastic bags, a lot of leaves is what I saw. I tried to stay away from the high part yesterday because of that. and it could have been something just as simple as dirty tires.
Coming into the bus stop for the first time, we're keeping an eye on the cautions, and I can see down now from where my position is that the yellow is out, and so we will be under caution very soon.
Yeah, we're under a full course
Ken
caution.
Unfortunately, not able to get the car going, which means that we've got trucks on track. That brings out the caution, and well, let's go through the procedure. You kind of take a deep breath now, right?
Yeah, I mean, this was, this is all part of it, and I think we had that conversation with Chris Dyson earlier. You know, cautions can kind of help you catch your breath a little bit around a place with this kind of physicality, and they're going to get Ken out of the wall here, and I don't think he's too worse for the wear, hopefully, and get that thing fired off and let him rip, as we can see some movement in the back of the pack as well, as Natalie Decker's already pulled from the tail.
Let's take a look at what happened, and Adam, I'll leave you to describe it because you've been there. What happened, you think?
Let's take a look here. We're on board. He gets a fine start here. He's on the brakes. I think again just some dirt. I think just got into the dirty asphalt out there where we've been pushing speed dry out there all weekend long, and
he was slightly. I mean, he was wide, wasn't he? He was offline for the race line here. Maybe he just got on a little bit of dirt.
Yeah, and there's some aero disturbance, and another thing too. We mentioned we skipped the chicane for the carrying more speed.
Good point.
Getting into turn one than we have all weekend long.
That
so
might have just thrown him.
If you've had your shutoff point and you went to that same point, it's going to be too deep. And that's what you found Tyler Casera, I think, doing the restart, because he went really, really wide. Because we're at the top of second gear any other time when we make the chicane through there in a TA2 car. However, on that restart, we were in third gear.
Right.
So I think that might have been part of it too. Who knows? But I believe it was a combination of both a little bit of dirt and out in the gray and having that extra speed into that turn one with that restart.
Got a story we haven't picked up on yet. You're seeing the car in third place, Tommy Dreesy weaving. He went out this morning and did one lap. What do you think they were trying to find there? And it was as though they had some sort of engine problem. That's all I heard. Did you hear any more? Why would you do that?
Yeah, Mr. Genelosi, that's pretty much all he wanted to share was they were very busy on getting what they thought was a gremlin that came up, and they gave him a consolation lap, and they went out, and I don't know the result of it. We really didn't feel like we wanted to bother them anymore as far as getting any further into that, so we just hope that Tommy gets his thing and hangs on.
Yeah, clearly, obviously, they came back from that, and they're in the race, so obviously if it hadn't caused a problem, it won't. Here we go again then. Menard across the line. This time Dyson looks to the inside but chooses to stay in line as they go into turn one. Dreesy now in third place with Ken Thwaites out of this race onto the infield. Adam, what's this surface like?
You know, this is a change in pavement from what you have up there on the oval part, but it's got, it's right today with the cooler temperatures, even with the sun beating on it, I bet it's got a lot more grip than what we dealt with yesterday, and that's what I'm seeing here. Cars sliding around, I'm hearing good power application here, and don't count Tommy Dreesy out. Tommy Dreesy's right there hounding on the bumper of Chris Dyson.
Yeah, already, early on too. How long does it take to get the tires up to temperature where you really feel comfortable with the car?
Well, Pirelli's got us on a minimum tire pressure. I don't know if that was true, held true for Trans Am. I don't think it did, as my discussion with Amy went. So, maybe a lap or two, and honestly, the couple of pace laps, if you kept enough temperature in it, you'd be in good shape. As Amy takes a pop in on who made.
Makes a move. Ooh. Almost. And Masood just cuts off the nose as they come into the chicane there, but a good effort. That is one potential overtaking, right?
It is, and as you can see there, it's still very, very tight. It's very difficult to get that. She was almost up alongside completely. As Tommy, who gets in hot here.
Whoa, oh, he's going to touch, surely.
Oh, wow.
If they didn't touch, I'm amazed.
Yeah, I think he could have slid a piece of paper between them.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we got some drama already on lap 3 of 45. You'll see on the top left in red numbers of minutes left. That's 69 or 45, whichever comes first. And obviously that means if there is cautions, we'll probably end up with timing. We may not get all the laps in, but it's either or. That's how Trans Am works. But at the moment, Paul Menard doing a really good job settling this race down, and he has left, for now, second and third to battle it out. So Menard with about a 1.1 second lead over Dyson with Dreesy in third. Pintarik, good start by him in the 57 in fourth place. We thought he was going to try the new chassis out today, but he hasn't. He's going to keep it until Road Atlanta one.
It looks like it's going to make a Road Atlanta debut, talking to Tony Ave as well, and he invited at it. He's anxious to show it off. Everything's entirely different from what they've been running for all these years, and it's an entirely different concept, and he's really proud of it. So we look here at the Porsche, but back out here to a battle as we're talking about David Peterick and Humaid Masoud. He's gained that position on David at some point.
Yep.
And making some headway here, actually. He's found a little bit of a groove. Once Amy popped on him there, he found another gear and just kind of really took off. And he was in Sebring, as Chris was telling me, unfortunately he wasn't feeling well. He had a really bad stomach bug. So as we're on board here with Tommy Dreese again, he is not leaving Chris Dyson alone.
No, he isn't.
And I was in the driver's meeting with these guys. I know that they know this is a 100-mile race, but they are not acting this way right now. And honestly, if Paul's up there just feeling like he's running a comfortable pace, I'm telling you, Paul's being a lot easier on his tires than maybe even these two are.
Good news is Ken Thwaites, I've heard from the pits, has just got back out on track. So even though he's going to be a long way down, glad to see Kenny's going to get a run at least. As we look at the beautifully painted, although slightly older car of Lucas-sponsored Tommy Dreese in the 8.
Yeah, as we get on board here with the leader, Paul Menard, and doing this is full throttle, easy on the oval here, a lot of body pressure. Get lined up straight here, hard on the brakes, and there go deep, boy. They're into the 3 marker there, so he's deep into the brakes. Probably, I would imagine, second, third gear through that chicane.
And this is a good battle too, Pentarek and Amy Ruman. Amy just behind David at the moment.
There's battles all around this Trans Am race here today as we're back on board in the front here. Well, we're here with Ken Thwaites. He's going to be trying to make some time up. He's 1 lap down.
Interesting to see Decker and Griffin as well. They're battling it out in GTs. You've got battle in SGT between Lowry and McMillan. And, of course, this battle at the front. Here's Ken Thwaites. So, good to see Ken has recovered from what was probably a moment where he's really kicking himself. But I think you're absolutely right. I think he got not fooled, but I think because it was a different start than every other lap he's done, in other words, without the chicane, he was going a different speed.
Yeah, I think there's that possibility. We've seen it. I mean, it caught us off guard yesterday. It can happen to anyone. And when the track is dirty out there, too, it doesn't take much. You could get just 4 inches offline, and it'll take all your grip away, and especially on a cold tire. So I think it was a combination of things that got him out, but no worse for the wear. He's going to out there, get the laps, and attrition could play a part. We're still very early on, only 6 laps in to this 45-lap event. And what a great battle here for second place between the championship leader, Chris Dyson, and Tommy Dreese.
Well, it was this way last year, of course. Tommy Dreese took Dyson all the way to the end of the season. It was a really good battle for that TA championship. We're on board with Chris now as he takes the last chicane. That was pretty handy to me. It's almost as much of a straight line as you can do right through there.
Absolutely, and he's making quick work of there. He gained a little bit of a gap on Tommy through that whole business, and I think that's what he wants. He just needs a little bit of breathing room so that Tommy can't make that pop move, that pop maneuver. And right here, he gains on him though. Like Tommy is really moving through turns 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the lap times, 1:19.0 by Paul Menard. That's why he's gapped it now just over 2 seconds, as you can see on the top left hand of your screen there. Our Franklin Road board telling us exactly where everyone is. Tell me about getting onto the banking here. I hadn't realized how off-camera it is, the approach to the banking.
Yeah, really turns 7 and 8 coming onto the banking there. Really, they try to suck you into that wall that's right there in between 7 and 8. You're right, Jonathan. It's really aggressively off camber, and you almost slide yourself into the banking, and the banking catches you.
Well, I was going to say,
and then you go from a car that's sliding sideways to a car that doesn't want to turn.
You'll laugh at me, but I'd never been on an oval until I went with Scott Goodyear in the Civic the other day, and he really made me understand how much the car gets sucked up towards the wall. Is that true when you're racing too?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because just inertia, the force of nature takes you out there,
right.
and just the speed that you're
going.
How
does that change the tire wear?
Well, it does. It's like Paul was alluding to. He needs to, be cautious of the tire wear. But it's not only the rear tires of these, 850 plus horsepower monsters, but it's also that right front tire. Because once you make the turn left for turn 7, you don't straighten the wheel until you come out of turn 10.
Right. Oh, okay.
You
yeah,
know, I
good
mean,
point.
you're loaded up on the right front that entire time, and that's a long, long stretch of road.
And after 100 miles or 90 miles, you'll start to feel that, right?
Oh yeah. How you treat this tire in the miles of this race will dramatically change the last 15 miles of your race. I can promise you that. Oh, David Paterick in the pits. Matt's got everything under control there. He's the crew chief, and he's popping the hood over here. And I hope they get that figured out. And
we just saw that Chris Dyson put in the fastest lap of the race, a 1:18.8. And that's going to help. Oh, no! And as I say that, commentators blight. Dyson, of all people, hits the wall at Charlotte. And Chris Dyson is out of this race in dramatic fashion. Adam Andretti, I'm going to turn to you because I have no idea what just happened.
I think that was a right front tire. I hate to say it.
You just called it.
But I can see the skid mark, and it looks to me like a right front tire. And that is totally unfortunate. And it looks like Chris is okay. That's the most important part. I'm sure he's got a little elbow bang and things like that happen with knees come knocking together. And but boy, that's a hard heavy hit at a lot of speed. I'm glad he's okay. And
well, he's come to a stop right in front of us. He's trying to get it going again. He just got it in drive, but the car's suspension is completely wrecked at the rear. And no surprise that there's a caution because he's right in the middle of the track and right at the exit of the chicane here, the last chicane here, and Menard is about to come across him. But what a shame for Dyson.
Yeah, this is a big blow for him and his championship. And again, most important thing is for his loved ones at home and for all his fans that he's okay. He wants to get going. Car back to Scotty and the gang there at CD Racing and see if they can assess this to at least get out and salvage some points. As we're seeing, there could be attrition going on here, but yeah, he's got the door open. And
well, let's take a look at it, Adam, because this is really changed. This could change the complexion of the championship. What happens?
Yeah, that's a right front tire. That's a right front tire.
You know what? You were talking about it as it happened.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
A right front tire. That's a shame. That's a real shame.
I mean, when you say it's a right front tire, what, it burst or?
That was a puncture, or it could have been anything. You could hit a curb.
Let's look at it from his point of view.
Yeah, see the hood pop up there.
Oh,
and you're out of control. Yeah, you're a passenger at that point.
Yeah.
I lost a right front tire at Daytona at a heavy rate of speed and was able to get away without hitting anything. And I always said that was for the grace of God. And I feel bad for Chris here. That was again a hard hit. Good to see he's okay and just leaning in there and getting I'm sure communicating with the crew, and they'll get that car back. They'll get ready and they'll be back at Road Atlanta.
Let's head down to the pits. Ben's got his crew chief, and I'm sure he'll have something to say. Down to you, Ben.
Dyson Racing, what's your driver saying, Stevie?
Our driver's all right. He had a tire go down, and he just got kicked into the wall. Physically, he's all right. Recover in the next race.
Nice. So are they going to be able to bring him in?
They're going to have to bring him in on a flatbed because he has too much damage to the car to drive it across the grass over to here for us to change the tire and complete the race.
Well, gentlemen, obviously an ominous Stevie Dix. Here we are, Charlotte Motor Speedway, looking right now. We can see him. He's in eye shot of us. Looks like the right front tire. And we're going to tell you all about the Pirelli tires here in a minute. Back to you, gentlemen.
Great stuff as always, Ben, and a very quiet-spoken Steve Dix there, but I think partly in shock.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just disappointment too, right? Everyone worked so hard over so many hours and days and weeks of preparation, and when it goes away in an instant like that, you're heartbroken. You can see it right there on Chris's face. Again, happy he's okay. Reiterate that, and looks like we're going to get too far from getting started. Getting lined up here as I come in here.
All right,
yeah,
well, it's going to take some time to get him on
flatbed. Yeah,
yeah, they're going to have to take some time, but that does give us time to talk a little bit closer about the tires. We said it was a factor, and it sure enough is. Let's take a look.
Well, at Sebring, I think they performed very well. We beat the track record, meaning we beat the lap time that we were on 16-inch. Good feedback from the drivers, and we can see clearly that the tires enhance the performance of the car.
So the wheel is bigger than what we were running on. It's an 18-inch wheel as opposed to a 16-inch one, which means that the circumference is the same. So the sidewalls have actually shrunk. What that basically means is that you've got less of a moving contact patch, which is manna from heaven to the drivers and the engineers, because it actually translates to both more grip and faster responses to your inputs.
Yeah, the 18-inch tire is a huge improvement, thanks to Pirelli. Thanks to Chris Dyson as well for developing it. The car just has come to life. It's so much fun to drive. You can be so aggressive with the car.
What I noticed are really good is under the braking. They're much more stable. We're very, very pleased with them because they're just another good product from Pirelli.
I think that the tires can go anywhere. Certainly during the testing last year, they were able to be run through the paces at lots of different track configurations. And I think they found a great balance for the diversity of the tracks that we end up racing on, including Charlotte.
We're in a different environment. This is what we call a ROVAL, meaning it's an oval track mixed with a street course. Forces are different from a regular street course, so it's challenging for the car, it's challenging for the driver, and it's also challenging for the tires.
I feel comfortable. I feel safe. I feel like I can really push the limits of the car. And that's the reason why I think we're going so fast.
Well, Chris Dyson is out of the car. He's down in the pits with Ben Sissel. Let's head down and find out what happened to our champion.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Obviously heartbreaking for Chris Dyson, who had such a great showing in round one at Sebring. Chris, you were kind of saying you don't know what happened. Do you have any indication yet?
Yeah, well, we're going to have to plug in on the data. I was just in the middle of NASCAR 4, just biding my time, just keeping in touch with Paul, and it just let go. I lost complete right side grip, and I did the best I could to kind of catch it so we wouldn't turn straight right, and I sort of pancaked it in. So it was a good hit, but the safer barrier did its job, and I think all the safety stuff that we have in the seat was good. So car's hurt, but I think it's fixable for next week.
You were having a great run out there for second and third with Tommy Dreese. Paul Menard was kind of stretching. Were you having the strategy of holding back? What were you doing out there?
I mean, we just done fast lap, and I felt like we were reeling him in. I think his car was exceedingly good from the get-go, but we were starting to, I still had plenty of performance underneath me. I was just biding my time, and it was a long race. It's just devastating to be out this early.
Chris Dyson, devastating. That's a great word for this. Jonathan, Adam, I'm going to send it back to you.
Great stuff as always, Ben, and you really got a feel for Dyson. One thing he did say there, though, and Andretti, and I'm sure you picked up on it, Adam, we think it will be okay for Road Atlanta, and that's the key.
Yeah, absolutely. He's in a championship hunt, so it needs to be okay for Road Atlanta.
Yeah, it's only a few days away.
There's really no choice. But those, I know Scotty and the gang, they'll get that thing back together, no problem, and be in good shape, and he'll be strong as he ever has been, and a threat like he always is there. So it's a shame for that Altwell Ford Mustang to be putting up on a flatbed right now, and so I think we're going to be able to talk to maybe find out what's going on with this 57 car.
Yeah, David Panteric has been down there for a while, so while this caution has been on, they've been working on David's car. Maybe we'll hear from him. But there's no question that this is a great opportunity for Paul Menard and, of course, Tommy Dreese, even Masood, his teammate, because obviously after Sebring last time, Dyson had it really easy, and he even told us this morning, it was a breeze with Sebring. This has not been.
No, and that's what our sport gives us, right? It gives us the highs of the highs and the lows of the lows, and I think what was witnessed here and what people are perceiving as a possible tire puncture with Chris, I believe we might be seeing some pit road action, is what I'm understanding. Yes, so it looks like Ken Twaits is coming down pit road here, Jonathan.
Yeah, Ken Thwaites, who've already been in the wall, is coming in, and let's head down to Ben, because I believe he is in Thwaites' pit stop, and he's got his crew chief there. Let's hear from him.
Hey, Ben here as Ken Thwaites comes in. I can tell that the team right now is struggling to find the right tires as brake dust comes out. JJ walking around with the tires. Now, for those of you that are watching, this is not normal. This is a 100-mile sprint race. Tire changes is not something that normally happens. You can see the damage on the front end here. The clips are loose, like what Tony's showing us here. They're trying to get the hood off. I'm trying to dodge the crew guys. There's a lot going on down here. And the goal here is, as you guys know, is they've got to get out before the pace car so that he can stay on the lead lap. They're having trouble with the gun. It looks like they were able to get that in as they struggle to run around everybody. The air hose, like I said, this is not a normal operation. They do training on these tire changes, but not as much as some of the other Cup teams, because you don't want to do a tire change under green flags in the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. A lot going on. You can see, watch this, they're going to take that yellow air hose out of the car. Those are the air jacks. Looks like they're seeing something. There's a roll of tape underneath the car. That's Gary Seelix right there, reaching under the roll of tape. They're having trouble with some of their tools. A lot going on. I'm not sure where the pace car is, but it looks like they're going to get this taken care of so Ken can go back out, because Ken is really showing speed as he starts back up, as he goes out. Now, let's talk to Gary Seelix. I'm going to talk to Gary Seelix, Tony. Gary Seelix, crew chief, Trans Am royalty. What's going on here?
I just wanted to be safe after locking them tires up going into one, after seeing what happened to Dyson. I don't want to have no problems out there, and he can catch right back up here in no time.
Now, it seems to me from the naked eye that very minimal damage to the front end, maybe a little bit of aero, but the clip was off. What's your driver telling you?
He says the car's fine, it feels fine, and we're just going to try to catch back up here.
Nice, Gary, I'll let you go to work. Trans Am royalty, Gary Seelix, great crew chief with FranklinRoad.com apparel, the great apparel that I'm wearing. Jonathan, Adam Andretti, back to you to the green flag.
Let's go racing, boys and girls. Once again, we're underway as Menard tries to hold off Dreesy. Great information from the pits. Ken Thwaites did get out, but Adam, is he going to be on the same lap or not?
He won't be, actually. He's already a lap down from the earlier incident that he had at the start of this race. But I tell you what's going to happen here. What I think is Humaid, Masood was on a rail before this caution, and I tell you what, he's tucked right up onto Dreesy's bumper here and doesn't want to. And I tell you, Amy Ruman's come to life too. So this little restart here has brought life to these Trans Am competitors.
When you get a restart like that, is it a good thinking time for you about the strategy, about what you've already experienced, so that you can reapproach it?
We're race drivers. The worst thing you can do is make us think. No, I'm but yeah, I mean, it's honestly, it's a time to reflect what you have, see if there's any controls. Like, in a Trans Am car, they have they have sway bar controls to stiffen or soften the sway bar, and obviously brake bias controls. So you'll start to talk to your team about how your handling is, and maybe what you can do with those controls to take advantage of that.
Good battle here as well. McManus in the thick of it. And McManus currently in 6th place, chasing down Danny Lowry. Lowry just did his fastest lap at 128.2. And side-by-side action there for a moment. On lap 14 then, 50 minutes to go of the 45. Dreesy still in 2nd place, given that Ken Thwaites sadly had that incident right at the start. That dropped him down the lap, as you quite rightly point out. And then he came in, changed tyres, which again is unusual. But do you think that was more of a systems check? They wanted to check the front of the car?
Oh, for sure. And Gary said it. He was totally up front. He didn't want to, when you flat spot these tires, you've left them vulnerable, especially to the loads here, the wheel loads here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. You don't want to take those chances. And Gary and the guys there, they don't want to have to, spend the week having to fix up a bunch of race cars because they didn't make that right choice there under caution. It was a great choice, I think. And as we're looking at Humaid here, he's holding up the CD Racing banner here quite well. Obviously, eyes are going to be on this thing, and they're going to be making sure that he feels that sharp, as they are almost, I bet, identically yoked cars, so they have the same setups on him, I'm sure, very similar, if not nonetheless. So, yeah, all eyes are on that. But a very good run there. He's rounding out the podium position right now in 3rd place.
Very interesting to hear about his new sponsor, Allgram, a texting system where you've got total privacy between each person. Very interesting indeed.
Yeah, social media privacy has become a hot topic, so what a great introduction to that, and hopefully we'll see how that goes. But you can see right there, Paul Menard's best lap of this race is a 1:18.1. That is some serious pace.
Yeah.
That is serious pace. That would be a pole speed, so you can show us how much speed is in the track, because he's with a full load of fuel being able to set that kind of pace. But,
yeah, which is impressive. Which is easier to drive, a full loaded car or a car that's slightly less or even almost empty?
Oh, almost empty always. Okay. Yeah, qualifying trim. It's always got the best handling. So, obviously at the end of a 100-mile race when your tires are hot and they're all but gone, maybe not always the case. But yeah, it's we're always putting light loads of fuel in it. So heavy loads of
You've got plenty of room on the banking. Where do you like to be, up high or in the middle?
It depends on the car you're driving. With a high horsepower car like, you can kind of just hug the bottom if you can and keep the radius as small as possible. You're not really going to choke down the horsepower. Good battle here.
Yep, Don McMillan.
Boy, yeah, Billy Griffin really had to jump on the brakes there and lock him up.
Now, you told me you had some news on Billy Griffin.
Oh yeah, Billy here is he's figuring this car out. That's his thing right now. This is a new car to him, and it's got more downforce than he's ever driven before. So. For those folks at home that, when you have that downforce and you're not used to it, there's so much advantage that it gives you, but also it's a weird kind of feel because if you lose that downforce, there's no mechanical grip really that helps gain you, because the mechanical grip is built up from all the level downforce that the car produces. So he's still trying to figure out that balance, but he's doing a heck of a job out here today. He's got a good run going for himself, and it looks like he's, at the most part, it looks like he's having fun, and that's what's important.
Yeah, Billy Griffin, a former GT champion, of course, and very much enjoying his racing. And that car's beautifully painted, too. It looks cracking.
Oh, it's got a great-looking livery on it. You can definitely see it coming a mile away. He's got that good A.J. Foyt number there, the number 14. You can't go wrong with that one. That's an iconic number in American motorsports.
Griffin Auto Care, Sheehan's towing Ford Mustang of Billy Griffin as we go back to Tommy Dreesing in that beautifully painted bright Mustang. This, though, an older version. He, too, is getting a new chassis car. We still don't know too much about it, and they're hoping. We spoke to Paul Gentiluzzi yesterday about it, and both he and Tommy, great to be back together, two former champions, and with Paul at the helm, he's not going to want to, he had more than, he's probably had the most success in Trans Am ever when it comes to cars that he's entered, whether as an owner or as a driver himself.
Yeah, Paul Gentiluzzi, a legend of the Trans Am series, but here we got Ken Schwaitz again, off-road.
Ken. And that looks as though he is pulling the net out. As you can see on the onboard there, he's pulling the net out, which usually means an indication, I'm out of here.
Yeah, well, to drop the window net, too, is an indication you're okay.
Okay, good. And he does look okay. He's not looking flustered, but he's mad. Yeah,
he's upset.
You can see that.
I think the window net's jammed shut, so that's nothing that you want as a driver. You feel very vulnerable.
Well, he's out of harm's way. He's stuck on the infield, but unfortunately, Kenny is going to be out for the Franklin Road Apparel. The road has come to an end for him today after all that hard work, but Paul Menard still going strong on the banking here.
Yeah, and this is heating up to be a battle. He's just got a half-second lead on Tommy, but I look at it too when we're on board with that. We were on board with the Lucas onboard camera there with Tommy Dreesing. Now we're on the Franklin Road on board here with Paul Menard, but the previous shot showed us that I really feel like Tommy had to drive harder.
Let's take another look at what happened here, and Adam, I'll let your eyes see it better. Ooh.
That's that. I don't know what that is.
It ain't good.
That looks like that could have been tire smoke. I don't know. That was.
Could it be a failure? Could it be the engine?
I don't know. It was really weird how that came out. Could be an engine failure. I didn't see any oil, which usually would be something for that catastrophe. But maybe our pit road reporter, Ben Sizzle, might be able to hunt down an answer. Go back and talk to our good friend Gary Seelick and see what happened.
Good luck with that one. He's not going to be happy. This has been a tough day. Ooh, getting out of the way, though.
Yeah, that's lap traffic.
Car,
yeah.
Tommy Dreesy, though, in a real battle here with the leader Menard as they go on the banking, and they're going through the other classes here, and that's quite rightly. Pintarik gets out of the way for a moment there. He's been in the pits, but I'm glad to see him back out of there. Here's a look at Decker on the inside. This battle for 6th place, and it's a good one. Look at this, side by side on the infield.
Wow, this is great racing here. Natalie really poked her nose in there hard, but man, hanging it on the outside.
Great stuff. Wow. And they're going to continue this all the way through the infield.
Lowry just really giving it the business on the outside in that Super GT Porsche GT3. I mean, it's really good business here in the Bridge Hall.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Natalie was pole here. She obviously likes this Roval. She was pole here last year in the Pro-Am race. And obviously having to start from the back, not an easy thing with that technical issue. She didn't want that at all, having had a good run in qualifying, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, you knew she loved the place when she talked about, you know, she was just glowing from ear to ear about it with her plant fuel Audi R8 there.
Yeah, I was doing an investigation into that plant fuel. It's all the rage. Evidently, celebrities are involved in it, basically, and you're all about this. Being healthy as you possibly can. It's all healthy stuff to drink and eat, and make sure that you get the best performance out of your body. And when you're racing, you need that.
Absolutely, no, it's a great partnership, and you know, it's a beautiful livery of the car. Like you said, I think it's a. She claimed to be the brightest. Well, I would say it's a close second to Ryan McManus's
well, here she comes
Corvette,
again.
But yeah, she gets a great run through that chicane. That was something she mentioned in the drivers' meeting. Her little car can really fit in those boundaries that were given within the chicane. But this is really the Porsche's meat ground there is on the infield, is when it really gets it done. Is Danny Lowry really gets through this turns 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 complex really well.
Well, I remember when the XGT championship was run by Kenny Thwaites. He talked about the R8 because that's what he was driving, and he had 2 in the championship at the time. And he said that it's so nimble. And it's a beautiful car to drive that it doesn't matter what you throw at it. It really does deal with any course you like. We just saw a great example of it there.
Yeah.
Up onto the banking she goes.
Absolutely. Audi Motorsport does a really great job with their products for sure. And you know, this has been a perennial contender on everything it's ever done in sports car racing. So why wouldn't it be a great contender here in Trans Am Series in the GT class?
Perfect time to give Natalie a shout out, because I was watching myself NASCAR, and she came on my national TV the other day because she's part of a new Bush program for women trying to get into NASCAR, and she kind of did a little promo for herself. So it's great to see them getting that kind of notoriety, and I would have thought she's loving the fact that she's got a chance to race here at Charlotte.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know, any opportunity here, and if the NASCAR career progresses, there will be a point in time that these laps at Charlotte will really pay dividends.
It's interesting because, of course, Natalie racing in GT and Danny racing in SGT. And it's going to be interesting to see if Danny can stay with her. Billy Griffin just behind in 8th position. He just did his fastest lap, a 127.700. And in fact, at the front, Paul Menard's just on a 118.1. And the gap now is still half a second, though, or just under, to Tommy Dreesy. And Pintarik, even though he's got back out, has stopped again. So
yeah, that's not a good place either. I think they're going to probably have to get him off of that area there. And
scary.
Yeah, they'll probably have to do something to move that on. But yeah, you know, Paul Menard cannot shake Tommy Dreesy. We're on board again with the Lucas Oil on board camera here.
Yep.
The number 8 Ford Mustang.
Yeah, you can see how close he is.
I mean, he will not let go. So this is a.
Well, let me ask you this: if you were Tommy, where would you try to make up the pace?
Well, you know, I mean, it's hard to run this track because anywhere you're going to be kind of abusive, and if Paul's able to run that pace and it'd be kind of a relaxed pace for himself, and Tommy's having to eke everything out of the car, he's already doing everything he can. Or I would honestly look at Tommy as being if he's being methodical back there. He's matured a lot as a driver in this series here recently, so he could be back there doing the right thing. Now this is big, right? Paul has just got stuck behind traffic.
Yeah, and he's got 2 cars in front of him. In fact, one right in the middle of the chicane at the worst possible moment. And that was Danny Lowry in his way there for a moment. Masood is also in this hunt, remember. He's in 3rd, but he's some 17 seconds off the battle for 1st and 2nd as we go back with Tommy Dreesy on the infield. Decker's next.
Yep. She's right up ahead there, so I'm sure Tony's on the horn with her, or somebody from Ave Racing is on the horn with her, letting her know that the leaders are there, and she is heading there because this is tricky. You could be 10 seconds faster, Jonathan, than a car in front of you, and you're stuck behind him through there. It's one lane.
Right.
There's really nowhere you can go. And there's a great shot of Paul Menard. Great entry onto the oval here from turn 8, 9. Right here's 9 and 10 as he goes through here. They count this as 9 and 10 on the ROVAL part. So turn 10, he's exiting right now, which is really NASCAR turn 2. Hard on the brakes. Brakes and down into second gear. I believe we got turn 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Come in here. NASCAR turn 3 is going to be turn 15. Again, this is an easy flat, as you can see. Only lifting to shift. Went around turn 16, and then 17, 18, and 19, and that's a lap right around the Charlotte ROVAL, or at least a half a lap, the ROVAL part, as we hard on the brakes for turn number 1 as well. Staying in the same gear. Up. Staying in again in that same gear. Just kind of trying to keep it simple through the infield.
I love being on board. You really get a sense of what it's like to be out there. Menard just tiptoeing a little bit through 4 and 5. Back on the power. I hadn't realized just how blind the roller coaster part coming up now is.
Oh, it's a completely blind area, and it really sucks you in because it's a very aggressive decreasing radius, which means the exit of the corner, a lot like a clover leaf on an exit ramp. The end of it is at its tightest point, and so yeah, it can make it very, very tricky as you come up over the hill there. If you're not pointed already when the road falls away from you, you can be in a little bit of trouble. As you saw with Paul, was making sure that car's pointed. Oh, Humaid. Well, this has not been the best day for CD Racing. Humaid is pulled off. It looks like an apparent possible mechanical. All Grand Ford Mustang is looks like it's retired.
Let's head down to the pits once again. Ben's got the latest from Pintaric's team.
So talking about David Pintaric, I went down to Kreider Racing. They said that his power steering belt let go. This is the power steering belt that they put on. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how he was able to drive in. These cars are very heavy, but they were able to change the belt and get him back out there. But you can see a heavily worn power steering belt. And Adam, you've driven these TA cars. How hard is it to drive these TA cars without power steering?
Well, Ben, it would be almost impossible. And, you know, as we know, David has been recovering from COVID. And he even says he's still at only 80%. He thought he was at 80, 90% at Sebring. And in reality, when he got out there, and it's nothing physical or too physical for him, I'll say. It's more just getting the breathing back and getting his energy levels back. And you know, all those things will take time. That COVID is brutal business. And, you know, he's out here giving it his all, and I tell you, he said to us, and he was very candid with us this morning, Jonathan, that he was emotional after his first practice session, because after Sebring, he thought racing might be over for him, and he didn't want it to happen that way. He wants it to happen on his terms, and not something from a pandemic. He would want it to happen on his terms. So, you know, David's a great man, a great competitor, and glad to see that they got it fixed and back out there. But it looks like as McManus gets out of the way of the leader there. He's back on board with Paul Menard.
And the gap's still there. Just a shout out to what you were saying earlier about Tommy Dreese. He does seem like a renewed man. He left Burton Racing, and last year I think he just found some consistency that he hadn't had before, and this is the closest he's come. Just behind now Menard, who we're on board with. Look, now you can see the gap. And now let me ask you this, Adam. This is as close as he's been, and I think the traffic has been a part of that. But where does he, if he's going to make a lunge, or does he stay where he is and wait?
You know, this is a track where you're just waiting for the mistake, honestly. You know, it's such a tricky place. You know, he might make a liar out of me and just try and force something where I never would. But he's definitely got more car. Yeah, he's got more car.
Side by side onto
and
the
you're talking about a lead change right now.
Here we go. Tommy Dreese in the Lucas blue car. Number 8 takes the lead on the banking here at Charlotte. And that
we got an issue. Paul Menard's got an issue.
Got
Menard's got a problem. He's down to 88 miles an hour, so that's not banking speed. So great job by Tommy, but I believe Paul Menard has got himself an issue.
Yep, he's slowed right
He's got
down.
a tire down, I think.
You think?
I think Paul's got a tire down. He was locking up.
Right
front's down.
Here we go again.
Right front tire's down.
Well, you called it earlier.
Yeah,
that right front is the problem here.
You want to save your right front tire. How you treat that tire in the first 15 miles will pay you back in the last 15.
a very good point, and you made it. And as you can see, Paul Gentilozzi says, okay, we'll take the lead. And really, you can see the sort of relief they've got because they've had a horrid weekend, and now they're leading the race.
Absolutely. But, at the same time, your concerns have to be there as well, right? You got to hope that you don't experience the same. You've been running the same pace as that leader was. So you better hope that you're not getting that same kind of tire wear.
Given the lead he's got, will he knock it down a bit?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's been told already to knock the pace down. But like I said, the damage is done in the first 15 miles of the tire.
In comes Paul Menard, who had led this race in the number 5, the Franklin Road Apparel car. They bring some tires out. Ben is right there, and if we get a chance, I'm sure he'll talk to somebody once this is done and dusted, but I think it's looking pretty tough to get back out there for Paul.
He'll definitely lose a lap under this.
And they're trying to get that tire off.
Well, yeah, you kind of weld the thing in there when the tire goes down. Dub is doing the best job he can. He's wrestling that tire, and as JJ's ready there, you got Gary Jr. in the background. That's Gary Selig's son. This is a whole team effort here getting it done. Don't let that thing get away.
What a mess. Right front, as we've been predicting, sadly, is the weak point, if you will, when you're riding on the ROVAL here at Charlotte. They've got a new tire on. So Dreesy picks up the lead with Menard. So the attrition rate high here once again. We've had an incident with Kent Waits at the first corner. Then Dyson went out with a right front, and now Menard's had the same problem. But he gets back out.
So 40 mile an hour is our pit road speed limit. He's going to take it right to that. And then he got back to our leader, that beautiful number 8, Lucas. And they're going to have a new chassis coming up. Don't know when it'll make its debut, the new Rocket Sports chassis. And who knows if it will. This old little beast here is quite well. This is an older car, and it's doing the job quite well.
And we've seen about the 18-inch tires, and we believe that this new chassis was kind of designed with that in mind, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know for a fact, talking to Tony Ave, that the Ave Riley chassis that's coming out as a debut with David Paterick hopefully next weekend in Road Atlanta, that's definitely had that 100% in mind. We didn't get a chance to talk to Paul Gentilozzi as they were very busy this morning. And, so to know exactly what the philosophy was there. But I would venture the bet that was probably what he was feeling was the best opportunity to come back into this sport as a chassis provider would be because of that.
Best lap so far from Dreesy, 118.6. But as I mentioned, I got a feeling he's going to knock that down a little bit, simply because in his last lap, 123, so he has. But why I said that was because we know he went round this morning at about 10:30, and he was worried about the engine.
Yeah.
Now, is that now going to come into play, or at least in the minds of the team?
Well, Amy in P2 is certainly hoping maybe, because she's having a heck of a race, and she's sitting there in P2 attrition. We had a good talk this morning about what she needed to do to make it to the end of this race, and I gave her a couple of my little tidbits, but nothing important, things that a smart driver like her already knows about. And so she's doing a brilliant job out there. And that McNichols, beautiful red McNichols Chevrolet Corvette, Ruman Racing puts out a great product. It's a true family effort over there, and one of the great families of Trans Am. I always encourage the fans. We're in your market. Come around, see us. The admission ticket gets you general access to everyone. You can go sit right next to Amy Ruman and talk racing with her, talk, life as a first female national champion in this sport, and a two-time back-to-back Trans Am champion, and what that means, and how she achieved her goals, and the support she's gotten to do that. Because she's a wonderful race car driver, and she's getting a feel for these new tires, and I bet it's not before long when they really hit on that moment and they know what they've got, that she's going to be that really serious, formidable competitor. Yeah,
she did some testing on the new tire, and her feedback was basically that the smaller sidewall had better ride control, and the new compound has increased overall grip, which makes the steering and input more responsive. And overall, every driver saying it just feels more like a race car.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not such a sloppy sidewall, and it definitely improved the ride of the car, and that's important at a bumpy place like this, because we came here last year with the Pro-Am, and I drove for ECC Motorsports in the TA portion, and it was brutal how hard it was on you and the ride quality, and you know, talking to, you know, Chris Dyson's been the biggest advocate of these tires and all the testing he did, and in the sense that, you know, it improved the ride quality so much. You got Ryan McManus here too. You know,
that's the brightest car.
That is the brightest car. He's sitting P4 or P3, excuse me, in class. Or timing and scoring actually has him in P4, excuse me. So he's still motioning around in there, but doing a great job here. And you know, he's Paul Menard had to make that pit stop, so he. The only 2 cars on the lead lap right now are Tommy Dreese and Amy Ruman.
Interesting story. He's a former soccer player from Ohio, got all the way up to Olympic level, so a handy soccer player. But he's also in the insurance business. He actually insures some of the guys out there, as well as himself, of course, but handy guy to know.
Yeah, right. No, especially for that pickup soccer game, you know, that you got there in the neighborhood.
Thinking that. I was thinking more in insurance.
I was, you know. That's a different kind of lead foot in that sport
yes,
that you
is.
need. And but you know, no matter what athlete you are, it all applies. And he knows what it takes to focus. And obviously, you know, fitness level. If he was a soccer player at any point in his life, and especially at the high level he was, fitness level is not a problem for him. Paul Menard back out there and lapping around. He's going to salvage himself a podium out here, taking care of the car and bringing it home over the last 14 laps. And you never know. There's still a lot of racing left. 14 laps, as I just mentioned. There still could be some attrition here at the front of this field, Jonathan.
Yeah, and you've got to be thinking, I mean, I remember talking to Amy this morning. She, too, was worried about tire pressures and all that and how the car was going to be affected. She was talking about how, as the temperature rose, it's a little bit cooler than it was yesterday. She said she actually used the expression, you feel like rocks or feel like balloons because the longer you go on, the more pressure you go.
Tommy's slowing down. Tommy is slowing down. Back to the attrition talk. Back to the attrition talk. So now we've got Amy Ruman was about 50 seconds behind. So, but almost a minute behind. So it won't take her long to catch you at that speed, bud. But oh, that's just a shame to watch that thing come off pace like that. He had driven such a brilliant race. Now I hope it's nothing mechanical because the engine's still running. Maybe he feels a vibration, and before of an issue, he's coming in for some new tires. You never know, and this could be something that saves his race.
Well, this morning Chris Dyson said this is going to be one of the most physical tracks that they go to, but it's turned out to be physically tough for the cars themselves, mechanically tough, because we've got a huge attrition rate here in this race. And now Tommy Dreese comes in, and we'll try to find out just what is wrong with the number 8.
Well, it looks like all tires are up for sure, but he's going to go change tires. Right front.
Oh, he's
right
got
front's
the right
down.
front
Yeah,
too,
right front's down. So, wow, another right front. It's, I think, you know, Amy, again, that pace that she's been running has been methodical, and that pace might be what saves and brings that McNichols and Company Chevrolet Corvette.
Well, she's going to be getting this information from her dad and the rest of the team.
Bob Ruman. Bob Ruman is one of the best in the business. Bob Ruman is her engineer. It's her dad, and he does just a fantastic job. So he is super, super sharp, and I have a feeling that he was way ahead of this tire thing, and because it sounded like that with the conversations I had with him, and he feels really good. And hopefully Amy's got 13 laps here, so she just needs to nurse this thing, bring it home. That would be my advice. She's literally got like a lap on this field almost. So, or actually she's got 39 seconds on Paul Menard, and who knows when Dreese comes out.
Well, what a change of events here at America's Home for Racing. It's former champion Amy Ruman now leading this race with a huge attrition rate. Paul Menard, Ken Thwaites, and Tommy Dreese all having problems.
She has opened up her arc on the oval.
There you go.
You know, I'm sure that was advice from her dad, or maybe, you know, again, smart racer and Amy. She, you know, and her dad was a heck of a smart racer too. So, but you know, either she's decided to bring that thing down and open up, or move it up the track and open up the arc. But she's kind of staying awfully clean off of the rumble strips as well.
Let's get the latest from Dreese's team. We've got Paul Gentilozzi in the pits with Ben.
Well, I'm with the most winning team owner and driver in the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. But Paul Gentilozzi, not quite the start you wanted in your new season coming into Trans Am.
Well, obviously this is a real test on tires, and new oval for everybody. we thought we had it, but you never got it till you win. And we're a few laps from that.
Do you think this is going to be a theme throughout the race?
Yes. Well, Dyson lost the right front. Menard lost the right front. We lost the right front. That's a tough one. We've changed it. We can still win the race. All we got to do is catch Amy.
Nice. Thank you, Paul Gentilozzi. I think we heard it from the expert right there. Back to you, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'll get your take on it, Adam. You have been watching it for your own weekend. You know, this ROVAL is always going to throw up some problems when it comes to setup. We knew these new tires were going to go for a very tough test, and that's what it's proved to be.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And you know, it's going to be a tough 12 laps here. Longest 12 laps, I imagine.
Yeah.
Career or 11 laps we're down to now, but she's driving a very smooth race here, nice and clean, and not forcing anything. And because I mean, it's not just the oval, Jonathan. It's hard on the right front. You come off of the oval there, turns 1 and 2. You're loaded on the right front all the way through 1 and 2, and then all the way before you get on the oval, as I mentioned before, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those 4 corners.
Right.
You are turning left. You are loading up that tire. So again, I think. I hate to be so repetitive, but, you know, the first 15 miles pays dividends towards the end.
Yep, no question about it. And you heard on the pre-grid, she's got a little fan club here from Charlotte, so they'll be delighted. And they haven't had a run of luck for a while. It's about time the Rumans had some luck. And so I'm sort of egging her on for a win here because it's been a while, hasn't it?
So yeah, there's and I tell you what, they might be playing a strategy role here too. If Amy feels even the lightest vibration in the front, I can promise you they'll pit her rather than take the risk.
Yeah.
And so she's keeping a nice open radius. You can see it there on the oval.
Yeah, that's the key. And like you say, she's got that gap, but will it be enough to hold off what is Paul Menard now in second place, Tommy Dreese in third, and Ryan McManus still ahead of Natalie Decker in fifth place. She's leading GT ahead of Billy Griffin. Danny Lowry currently in sixth place in SGT.
Yeah, I mean, a GT car getting fifth overall right now
really
is where it's sitting, is showing just, again, what the competitiveness, but also the attrition rate that this Charlotte Motors proven to be a true test of not only the Trans Am cars, the TA cars, but GT and SGT as well.
And our female drivers about to be on track together because at the moment it's as though she's reeling in Natalie Decker, and that's of course Amy Ruman as we go back on board with Paul Menard. Now, how much catching can he do from third place?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, Paul Gentilozzi, hate to correct him, but, you know, he's got to beat more than just Amy Ruman. He's got Paul Menard just ahead of him as well.
Yeah.
You know, running down the same thing, and they're running very similar lap times. I saw the fastest lap of Paul was actually was only a half a second faster than Dreese's fastest lap of the race, and they are right on top of each other.
I was about to say, here we go again, and there's time, 10 laps to go.
They're about 7 seconds a lap right now faster than Amy, because Amy's actually, you know, I think actually saving that tire. You know, she's trying to bring this thing home and do the right thing.
Is there a worry that if they push too hard in their battle, they could have the same problem again?
I don't think so, because it happened so late in the race. It happened past the halfway point, you know, and it happened with less than 20 laps to go. So I think what you're looking at here is they can push all the way to the end, and I don't think they would suffer another issue. Now, it's risky still, because if you punish that tire too early, and you don't know. I didn't see anyone put a sticker brand new tire on. So if it is a used tire, you know, that could be the issue here too. They could run into another issue, Jonathan. So that's a great point.
So as you see, Amy Ruman gets past Natalie Decker. Decker in fifth place at the moment and doesn't need to challenge at all, and gives her a wave of good luck herself on lap 36 of 45. A dramatic race here at the Charlotte ROVAL for round 2 of the Trans Am Series. Adam Andretti and Jonathan Green bringing you the action. Franklin Road Apparel bringing you this race. And sadly, Ken Thwaites, who owns that company, not making it to the finish after an incident at the start and then more problems later in the race. Luckily for him, Menard is still back out there. And Dreese, though, trying to hand him, trying to look for him to make a mistake or have a problem. Still plenty of time left in this race, done 19 minutes. And I would have thought, you tell me, at this point in the race, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you're tired, you've had a lot of racing already, it's hot, you're working, but you've still got a long way to go. Yeah, there's still quite a bit of racing left, absolutely. You can't let your car down here with 8 laps to go. And yeah, I mean, and there's no doubt. I mean, we're down to 11-second lead. You know, they're reeling Amy in 7 seconds a lap, but will that pay off, or will it hurt them in the long run? So we'll see. That's all going to play out here, but this is going to play out to be a very dramatic ending to this event here, Jonathan. Oh, no question about it. And with Dyson out so early, it really does change the championship. But I mentioned the fact that Menard did not have a good Sebring compared to Dyson or anybody else, and so therefore it's a chance. It's always a chance, and as a racing driver, when you get a chance, you have to take it. Oh, without a doubt. We're opportunistic feeders. Yep. That's a great way of putting it. If it swims by us, we're going to take a bite. Yep. So Amy again coming through there. Turns 11, 12, 13, and 14. The first chicane, bus stop chicane in the back straightaway. That's a bad opportunity for P2 and P3 of Paul Menard and Tommy Dreesy to be catching the lap car of Natalie Decker, or the slower class. The gap now between Amy and Menard, some 11 seconds. If you were in Menard's position, would you be hopeful? That's going to be even tighter this time. I bet you it's going to be 5-6 seconds this time around. Yeah. So he can do it. Yeah. Yeah, 7-second lead right now. Yeah. Oh, so wow. You're absolutely right. It's come right down. And so now just 7 seconds between our leader, Ruman, who's starting to get nervous, starting to get twitchy, I'm sure, inside that car, knowing that gap is coming down dramatically. Dreesy is not out of this race by any means either. You can see it for yourself. There's the gap between them. Yeah, this is going to be one for the ages here at the end here. This is really mounting up to be something good, and because Amy's not going to just roll over. Let's head down to the pits, Benz, with Amy Ruman's team.
Yeah, I'm with Dave Skinner with Ruman Racing. I know you've been talking to her. What's Amy saying?
Well, I think she's worried about the right front tire because of the banking here, and we've already seen a couple cars come in with flat tires, so she's just trying to protect that right front tire, and it means she's going a little bit slower than the other guys, and they're catching up to her. They were almost a lap down to her, or half a lap down to her, so we're trying to protect the car. And the lead.
Trying to protect the car, trying to protect the lead. Back to you, gentlemen.
It's great stuff, and this is where her experience, her championship experience of many, many years of racing with this Miss Nichols Corvette. She's a real Corvette fan, and she knows this car probably better than anybody racing a Corvette, and so she'll know the feel of it, but it's going to be tight, isn't it, this one? Oh, it is. No, and here they come. And that's the thing. Even on the best days when you're leading a race, you feel every vibration, every weird sound and all that when you're down to 5-6 laps to go like she is, and then she's got two of these really tough competitors breathing down her neck, and Paul Menard and Tommy Dreesy. So this is going to really mount up to be something special, and it's not over till it's over, and she's saving her stuff. And here comes Menard, and he's coming quick. So too is Dreesy. They're gonna take her from the bank, and if she's not careful, will she up the pace now, or will she stay on this pace and try to just cruise? Well, you got to remember, she doesn't have that fresh right front tire. So Menard then takes the lead as they head into the bus stop. Dreesy's going to try to get through him, but he's denied as Ruman holds on to second place. But Dreesy will get back on the banking and surely make his move too. Yeah, this is a tougher chicane to get a pass in because of the transition. You're coming off the transition of the banking, and there's also a pavement change. So you're coming from this pavement here, and then you'll see the lighter color pavement right here. Yeah, I see what you mean, yeah. Into. But he makes it clean and makes easy work of it, and he's going to go hunt after that, Franklin Apparel, Menard's Chevrolet Camaro there of Paul Menard. So with one set of tires, she hasn't changed her tires, Ruman, and she's as satisfied, I would have thought, to let these guys go and try to nurse that car and hope she doesn't get a blowout and go off track and try to pick up a podium. But now the race is on. With just 5 laps to go, it's Dreesy versus Maynard. Traffic still a factor, and Menard, though, back in front and back in command of this race. Absolutely, yeah, he is, and he's catching another TA car of McManus there, and probably make a pretty good work of that one and get underneath him and be gone through there. And nicely done. Tommy will probably do the same here, but
Yeah, they're watching intently the coverage, right?
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is beautiful live streaming coverage, and but yeah, they're trying to.
You could see the nerves.
Oh, absolutely, because it's not over, Jonathan,
No.
right? I mean, my goodness, we still got.
Natalie Decker leading the GT class at the moment and 5th overall. It's been a good day at the office for young Natalie Decker in that Audi R8. The RV prepared Natalie Decker. Big future ahead for her. She's using Trans Am as a stepstone like so many other youngsters to try to get into NASCAR or whatever professional racing she wants to go to after this. She prepares well. She's got great social profile. She's one of what they call a big influencer.
Oh, yeah.
Her racing career is pushed very heavily by the fact that she's all over the internet doing whatever she's doing. She takes the world with her.
Oh, for sure, right? And yeah, I mean, she's an open book with her life, almost like a reality show on social
almost,
media.
Yeah. But this side of it is definitely something that intrigues some of the young girls who aspire to achieve what she does. She has you should go and have a look at it. She has her own battles with health that she's been very upfront about. She has to stretch a great deal, and she really has to prepare well her body to get going and get racing. And she's a real inspiration. So check it out, Natalie Decker.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Encourage you to check out that, and for sure, because that's her whole. I'm sure that's part of her mission too, is to educate those that are suffering as well, like possibly with the same ailments that she's had to overcome. So good on you there, Natalie. Keep up the great work.
And sporting her new sponsor this year, Plant Fuel on the top there. And on the back. So, Menard, Dreesy and Ruman. Ruman trying to hang on. In TA, she's now 8 seconds adrift of the 2 leaders. McManus still 4th. Decker leading GT ahead of Griffin. SGT, Lowry leading in that championship in 6th place overall. Work to do for McManus because, well, not hard work anyway, just getting to the end is the important thing because McMillan has pitted and that means he can cruise, but of course we've seen already that's no guarantee as we go back with Billy Griffin.
Billy Griffin coming through there real nice, you know, he's coming off onto the banking here. 8, 9, and 10. As you said, Jonathan, what a great looking race car that is.
Love the eagle on the back there.
Yeah.
Menard just passing through.
There's
Here comes Dreesy. Now, Dreesy doesn't want to get stuck in that.
No.
He wants to be right there,
yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
he, with Menard to check him out. Out of the bus stop they come. And again, I'm going to put you in Dreesy's seat here and ask, with the laps he's got, has he got what it takes to make at least one lunge?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to push. He's got to be closer to put a little sweat brow there. So he's got to really keep pushing the issue there because really your best hope when you're running so close to the pace of each other, your best hope is to force your competitor into a mistake. And it's very easy to make here on a hot and slick surface here that we have at Charlotte Motor Speedway today. So, yeah, Dreesy needs to keep that within contact for sure. And he is. He's within a second, you know, and in Formula One world, that'd be like the DRS zone. He's right there.
Yeah, good point. Fastest lap of the race so far, Paul Menard with a 1:18.1. That was on lap 29. Griffin's fastest lap, a 1:28.7. Totally different car, of course, and totally different class.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, they've Pirelli tires done really well with those GT cars, which that's saying a lot. These cars are incredibly heavy.
Yeah,
they're not. You know, those are road cars that have been built into a race car, if you will. So they're lightened up to a certain extent, but they still have a lot of road car weight to them.
Does that make it hard to adjust when you've got a ROVAL, which is so different in 2 different parts?
Oh, look what we got here.
No.
Yeah, Lowry's down.
Lowry's down, and he's been running good. He was
that looks
running
like
in
a
6th
spin.
place.
That looks like a spin, the way the tires are marked up to right up to him. Yeah, we got a spin.
Yeah, that's right in front of us, and that's bringing out a local yellow at least. And I don't think we're going to go to caution on that one because he's out of the way, and he actually
he's
starting
fired
up again.
Up and gone.
It was a spin though. There you go. Away he gets. So it's had everything this race for sure. Total drama. 44 of 45, and at the moment Paul Menard and Dreesy. Dreesy is past Menard.
Wow,
that was it.
Yep. had a change for the lead after we got to show the spin here. But yeah, I mean, Paul's not giving this up. We're watching
Here you go.
It live here. But
there
here's
you
the
see
change
it.
For the lead.
Dreesy leads
right
this
now.
race from Paul Menard. Can he come back, I wonder?
Oh, yeah,
It's
Paul.
a run to the flag. What a finish this is going to be. Tommy Dreesy holding on for dear life, the California man. But here comes Menard. It's side-by-side action. Menard takes him again for the lead.
I'm guessing that Paul might have made a little bit of a mistake, and that's what gave Tommy the run in the beginning. But, we'll have to get words from them, afterwards to find out exactly what happened there.
Onto the banking they go then. White flag is being prepared into the last chicane. Menard leads the race again. The white flag is prepared. And it waves in front of our commentary position for the last lap here at the ROVAL here in Charlotte. It's been a cracker. What a weekend we've had at Charlotte Motor Speedway, America's home for racing and America's longest road race championship. Putting on a show here. And former NASCAR man Paul Menard leads the way. Dreesy, though, has kept him honest. What a race these two have put on, and it's been an interesting one. They've had their worries, they've kept their heads, and that's the key, Adam.
Tommy is charging. He really, really is hunting after this one. It's not over yet. I think the gap is a little bit much. Paul can probably relax a little bit. Yeah, he's looking in the mirror feeling pretty good about himself as he heads through turn 10 there. NASCAR 2 of the oval. He's going to come down 11. I don't believe Natalie Decker there.
Yeah, the only traffic they've got is Natalie, and she's been very responsible in getting out of their way. But into the bus stop for the last time comes Menard.
Yeah, this will be okay. The timing is going to be perfectly fine there for Natalie and the two TA cars. But it looks like Paul Menard has got himself coming down here. He's all through the NASCAR 3 and 4 on the approach here to turn number 17, 18, 19. It's going to be staring down the checkered flags there, Johnny Green.
And Paul Menard takes the checkered flag at Charlotte, a place he knows like the back of his hand, and he's taken another victory here in Trans Am. Paul Menard wins, and that is one that they will remember.
That's a happy group there. It's showtime.
Joe, very happy with that. And Franklin Road Apparel, even Ken Twaits might have a smile on his face at the end of the day. His day didn't go well, but the team itself have got to win here at Charlotte at round 2. And Adam, that had everything. And you, I have to say, called it. You said to me this morning, watch the first 15 laps, watch the front right, and that you called it perfectly.
Well, a blind squirrel will find a nut every once in a while, Jonathan. But I've had a lot of experience on these ROVALs, and just knowing how to care for. It's incredible. You'd be just astonished at the loads that you actually put into the right front wheel when you're loaded on it, when you're that hard on it, when you're going that speed. As Natalie Decker's coming down, she got in front. She was in front of the overall winner when the checkered flag came out, so she gets an extra lap of fun here, the fun happy hands going around, and she gets just a whole another lap of just coverage all on her own. But she's here smiling from ear to ear, I can guarantee that.
Well done to Natalie. Yeah, she's going to take that checkered flag, and that's going to be an important win for her championship hopes as well in GT. 5th overall in the race, her fastest lap at 126.7, and there she is, takes the checkered flag. Natalie Decker wins in GT. SGT will go to Danny Lowry, who had that spin but was able to finish. Good effort, though, by Tommy Dreesy. Given the problems they'd had, I think they'll be, fairly happy, would you say?
I think so. That's a satisfied run. They had really nothing but issues in Sebring. That was one that they would like to have back for sure. And so they got through here. I mean, we even turned the wick up there at the end of the race, turned to 118.3. I could see it there on his dash. And that's down from a 118.8 that he turned earlier in the race. So really great job by Tommy as always. And again, we're seeing him really develop into one heck of a driver here at this point in his career. And what a great battle with him and Paul Menard. Both had to change right front tires. And poor Chris Dyson just wasn't as lucky as these two. His went down in the middle of the corner, and at top speed at about 155 mile an hour. And not much you can do. I think both of these guys, that happened at a different point of the track where they could actually limp the thing back. And I believe the rest of this podium is going to be filled out by none other than the two-time champion, Amy Ruman, in the 23 McNichols Chevrolet Corvette, I think, coming around the corner.
Yes, we kind of left that story when it got so critical at the end there, but she did the business. She did the sensible thing, and she let those guys go. She might have upped the pace, but risked everything by doing so, and instead she's come away with a good points podium.
Right, exactly, Jonathan, and something that they're going to be very happy with. And it's always great to take hardware home, and it's always great to step up on that box, as you well know.
And in a moment, we're going to see a smiling Paul Menard. And sure enough, Amy Ruman just popping in the background there.
Yeah, that's huge. This is a pretty cool deal right there. You can see it. You can see the
great shots from Tony Garcia there.
And you can see how fit Paul is too.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's a pinnacle of fitness. He doesn't have a sweat hardly on his brow. Not breathing heavy. Just a really awesome job. Great job, Paul.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't look like a good bead of sweat on him.
What an athlete.
And you can hear the applause now. There you go.
Attaboy, Paul Menard. Great family heritage there, and he's a Brickyard 400 winner.
Yes,
what a special moment that was, and nothing will ever compare to that. But I think he's going to be pretty stoked to be a Trans Am winner here at the Charlotte ROVAL.
Let's head down to Ben Sissel. He's got our winner, Paul Menard.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Paul Menard, our winner here with his family. Paul, crazy. It's been a long time since somebody's come in for a tire change and won the race. How in the world did you do it?
I don't know what was going on. My radio box broke about probably 10, 15 laps into the race. I had no radio. Tire went down, and I knew it was going to be a tire management race, and we weren't the only ones with tire issues, I guess. So I saw, I had my issue. I saw Tommy had his, so I knew that we're at least on the same lap racing each other. I didn't know if it was for first, second, third, fourth. So these guys just, they were prepared when I came. I couldn't tell them what was wrong with the car, but they knew to change a tire. And the car's been, Franklin Road and Camaro's been fast every session we've been in. So I just, once we changed that tire, I was just in management mode. Then I saw Tommy come up, and we had to go race again.
Nice. Now, who are these fans here with? Is this the Paul Menard fan club?
What's your name?
Bo.
This is my son, Bo.
And this is a hometown race. You have a lot of family here?
Yeah, my mom came in for the weekend.
There she is.
Wife and kids came in for the day. My daughter just had a birthday on Friday, so
happy birthday. That is awesome. Paul, what a race. Paul Menard put on a great show here at the Charlotte ROVAL. Unbelievable. Thank you guys for coming out. Let's hear it one more time, Paul Menard. Dreesy. Tommy Dreesy. I love squeezing through a crowd, and we've got a big crowd here. Dreesy is back. What is the deal? It's rare to have to do a tire change in the middle of a race. How did it feel?
As much as I love racing, I mean, that was just like a whole storybook romance on both ends. And I got the girl and then I lost it. But Menard's a pro, man. He knew where to put his car. I don't know what happened, why he got slow and we passed. And I just said to myself, man, Dyson, I feel bad for Dyson, but I just started thinking, if it happened to Dyson, maybe what's good for the goose. And sure enough, it happened. These guys stayed calm on the radio. Paul and John and all the guys just said, come in, let's change the right front, get back out. The next lap, they said, you can catch up to Menard, and if you guys pace that, you'll pass Amy with a few laps to go. So that worked out. Then a full course yellow came out, but it wasn't. It was a local. They said, go, 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 and I got by Menard. Part of me went, that's not nice. And then he made sure that wasn't nice. So he got by me, and anyway, Lucas Oil, the Lucas family, 3 GT, my wife, Lacey, Jagger, Elin, P2, I think this is really good points for the championship. Thank you to Trans Am and everybody, green light, thank you.
And we might get the famous Tommy Dreesy selfie here on Winner's Circle as I go try to find our two-time champion, Amy Ruman, as I weave through the crowd. It's awesome to see crowds back in racing. I am absolutely loving it. Dave, Amy, do you guys mind if I interrupt? Amy, what a race. How did it feel out there? Were you just feeling every single vibration and just knowing what had happened? What was going through your mind?
Tires. You know, I mean, I was trying to be conservative, so we took a more conservative pace. But you know, I was hoping we could hold on to it there at the end. But I just was a little nervous about that right front, and we just didn't have quite the grip in the infield after that. So I just wanted to, you know, finish a good race, and we were hoping to hang on to that first place, but we'll take the third today. And I can't thank the guys enough and McNichols Company for sponsoring us again this year. And everybody worked so hard. We had a tough qualifying yesterday, and you know, the engine package ECR was great. The shocks, JJ on the shocks, everyone, my guys worked hard, and you know, I'm happy to be up here, so we'll take the third. Unfortunately, I would have loved that win, but I knew there was going to be attrition today, but I'm glad we weren't part of it.
Amy, as an Amy fan, I'm glad you are on the podium instead of into the wall. That was scary watching it. Thank you, Amy Ruman. Congratulations. Let's come out here. Natalie Decker. Danny Lowry had a nice spin. Natalie Decker. Wait, hold on. Great run out there. You came from the back up to win your group, right?
Yes, I won my group, and I believe we finished 5th overall. So today was amazing.
You're shaking.
I know. I'm exhausted. That was a long race. I'm exhausted. I'm going to go celebrate with my family and my team, but after that, I'm definitely going to bed early.
Nice. Natalie Decker, congratulations. Jonathan and Adam, we've got a huge celebration down here. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Yeah, there you go. There's a healthy woman. She says, I've had enough. I'm going to go to bed early.
I was right, though,
It's
smiling
exhausting.
ear to ear. You know,
Yeah.
she had that smile on from ear to ear. Really happy with that top 5.
Let's take a look at the results then. Paul Menard takes the win for the Franklin Road Apparel TA team. And Tommy Dreesy takes second place. Amy Ruman in third for McNichols. Ryan McManus in fourth position. The McManus Agency. Natalie Decker, as you just saw, they're taking fifth overall, but winning GT. And then Danny Lowry winning in SGT. Billy Griffin second in GT in seventh overall. And who made Masood in eighth position. Don McMillan. And Ken Twaits is classified 10th in the Franklin Road Apparel car. Further down, David Pintarek didn't get to finish, and nor did Chris Dyson, sadly. And that's a big, big problem for Chris, because he doesn't want to have an inconsistent year. He had such a consistent one last year. Let's take a look at some of the highlights then, and there was plenty. Good start at the beginning by Paul Menard. It didn't go so well, though, for Ken Twaits. On the outside in the blue, you'll see he hits the wall. But it wasn't over for Ken. He got back out there, in fact. But at the front, it was Dyson chasing Menard. Dreesy chasing Dyson. Very close at times, too. Dyson, though, hitting the wall. He was the first of the problems when his right front went. He managed to keep it off. His teammate also not finishing. And Tommy Dreesy getting by Menard. But that wasn't over yet, because Menard would come in, get back out, as would Tommy, and they would go at it again. Meanwhile, Amy Ruman thought she was maybe looking at a win, but she was nursing her tires. And again, it came down to Menard versus Dreesy. And Paul Menard takes a victory here at the ROVAL in Charlotte.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Everybody congratulating the man, and like you said, he's got the whole family down, including his mum. Always nice to be able to celebrate with your mum.
Absolutely, it's great when you see the families down there celebrating and all the love, and because they're part of the big sacrifice here too. They're a huge part of it, and so it's just beautiful to see the celebration.
So let's take a look at some more highlights. This time it's the GTs, and of course Natalie Decker. She might be exhausted, but she put on a show. And remember, GT starting slightly back. Of course, Natalie had issues because a technical infraction put her at the back, and therefore she was doing the chasing for a lot of the time. Danny Lowry out there in SGT. And in terms of how they got on, Danny Lowry leading in SGT. Billy Griffin chasing down Natalie Decker. Griffin doing a good job, and that beautifully painted Mustang number 14 going to second in GT. But it was Natalie Decker who took the laurels, and she had to fight for them. Good battle out with McManus, and this man, number 42, getting a spin round, Danny Lowry, but he recovered. But it was Decker's day at Charlotte.
Yeah, the P5 overall, like you said, just really overwhelmingly happy about that. And And then, but you know, she's a wood puppy too, because this place, like Chris Dyson was saying at the beginning of the broadcast, very, very physical.
Yeah, that's what surprised me more than anything. When I looked at it, I just thought, you know, it's a short infield. You're not moving too much, and the oval you might have to relax on, but not the case. And now I've learned the hard way that listening to all you drivers, just how physical it is, and you can see it.
Looked like a great podium celebration down there.
Yeah,
great fanfare, and that's another thing about Trans Am. Again, if we're in your market, come see us. You could be a part.
All right, let's head down to our podium celebrations with Ben Sissel.
29. Let's hear it, Natalie Decker. I know you guys can get louder than that, but Billy, what a crazy race, man. That was like a war of attrition out there. How does it feel to be up here on the podium with us?
Feels great. This place is beautiful. What a beautiful day to go racing and a beautiful track. I'm with my family, my friends. Obviously, I didn't have much for Ave Motorsports and Natalie here today, but maybe next time. I don't know, maybe next time. We'll see. But here we are. It's a great day, beautiful day. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Trans Am.
Nice. I love it. Billy Griffin, all the way from southern Florida. Natalie Decker, I spoke to you right out of the car. You were shaking. You said that was so intense. How does it feel?
It's so exhausting to drive these race cars, but it was so much fun. Thank you, Ave Motorsports. And I had a new sponsor on board this weekend, Plant Fuel. They're amazing. The car looks beautiful out there. And Trans Am, you're just so amazing to race with. I love coming here. And Charlotte Motor Speedway is in my backyard. And the ROVAL is such a great track. So thank you, everyone, so much. It feels so good to win this race this weekend.
Nice. Natalie Decker, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, look out at Chris.
Hold those beautiful Crystal Sensation trophies way up in the air. Let's hear it. Billy Griffin, Natalie Decker, the GT class here at the ROVAL. That was so much fun to watch. And Natalie, that is a beautiful car you're driving as well. Love the new sponsors. Come on, fans, let's hear it. Billy Griffin, Natalie Decker in her backyard. Charlotte Motor Speedway, a little handshake there from Billy Griffin and Natalie Decker. Great job. Are you old enough for champagne? Natalie, are you old enough for champagne? She's not answering. Can anybody confirm that? Uh-oh, oh, look at that. I guess it's legal if she's not drinking it. Uh-oh, I guess, well, I cannot confirm nor deny. Natalie, are you old enough to be drinking that? She says yes, okay, good. Whew, almost a heart attack. And that's why the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli is so much fun. Now we go to Super GT. In second place, back with us after 4-year absence, the number 51, let's hear it for Don McMillan. Louder. And then a guy that loves to put on a show for the fans did a little pirouette triple Salchow right there over the start-finish line just a couple laps ago. Let's hear it. First place, Danny Lowry. McMillan, welcome back to the series, and you're back up here on the podium with us.
Well, just because there's two of us. I held on and got halfway through the race, so that's about all I could do. Lost power steering. So
power steering was a big issue today. Yeah. But how's it feel to be back here at Charlotte?
Great. It's nice. A great day to race. Wish the steering held up.
A great day to race. Wish the steering held up. Danny, I know that you're all about the show. What a show you put on there, the whole race, but also a little fireworks. How'd that feel?
Yeah, that was exciting. A little bit more than I was looking for, but fortunately it's close to the end of the race, and I didn't hit anything. Car fired up, and we were ready to finish up.
Nice. And thank you for bringing out that Bridge Hall Porsche. So much fun. Will you be back with us next weekend?
Absolutely. I'll be in Road Atlanta. Looking forward to having a good time with Trans Am again.
Nice. I love it. The podium is actually sticky.
And then look out there.
All right, look right up there at the top there, the photographers. Don McMillan, Danny Lowry, let's hear it for him. In Super GT. Yeah. Beautiful new Crystal Sensation trophies. Don McMillan, Danny Lowry, Super GT. That is good stuff. Oh, here comes the champagne. I'm not going to ask if you guys are old enough.
We're old enough.
All right, let's hear it. Don McMillan, Danny Lowry. They're going to do the gentleman. Danny's like, I'm racing next weekend, dude. I can't take this to the dry cleaners. Oh, but then he's like, but I'm going to spray you right in the eyes. Nice. That's awesome. Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Danny, I'll see you next weekend. Don, I hope you're joining us some more, man.
I'll be there if I can get it fixed.
You'll be there if he gets it fixed. Awesome. We'll see you in just a couple days. TA. 850 horsepower behemoths. For those of you that were paying attention and watching, this is a 100-mile sprint race. Tire changes are not normal, but we don't normally run ROVALs with such high banking, tight radiuses. And obviously that added a lot to the story, a lot going on. I'm going to first bring up in third place, two-time Trans Am champion. I want you to get loud for Amy Ruman. There we go. Amy Ruman back on the podium. I'm loving it. Last lap, TA. This person I'm bringing up for second was in first place for a while. That was the battle up front. Let's hear it in the number 8, the Lucas Mustang, Tommy Dreesy. You gonna do a selfie? Oh yeah, all right. Maybe we're gonna get one of the patented Dreesy selfies. Anytime Tommy Dreesy's on the podium with us, he takes a selfie, so check his social media. And then from Charlotte, North Carolina, NASCAR legend, winning here after having to make 2 tire changes in the same stop, FranklinRoad.com. Let's hear it, Paul Menard. Hey, his family's here. Get louder, Paul Menard. Amy Ruman, what a race. So happy to see you back on the podium with us. That had to be nerve-wracking.
It was. You know, we tried to take a conservative pace, and it was a little too conservative. I had some tire. They were there, but I wasn't quite sure they would last the whole time. So, you know, I got to thank my team. They worked hard. We had a lot of problems yesterday in qualifying, and everybody pitched in and really got us, you know, going. The Shocks, JJ, and the ECR, and my team, Dave and Mike, and everybody, and my dad dialed it in. So we try to hold on to that win. It would have been a weird win, but I would have taken it. Who cares, you know? You got to finish. So we'll take the third. We're back up here. I got to thank McNichols. G. McNichols is here today, so we're excited to put on a good show for everybody. It's a fun race.
Nice. I love it. Where's my Amy Army? Let's hear it, Amy Army. There we go. All right, Dreesy, you want to get the selfie out of the way here? Want me to hold that? All right. Tommy Dreesy, the famous winner circle selfie. You guys can all be in it, so make sure you're waving here. I remember the first time I used a phone. All right, come on, let's get them loud. Get it loud. Come on now. Throw out some hats. Woo! Look at that. Oh, one with a crowd in it, he says. Come on, crowd. Cheese it up. There we go. I love it. That is a good crowd. I love this stuff. And Tommy Dreesy, the rockin' Moroccan, that's hot, he says. That's going right up on Insta, isn't it? How do you like being out here with these big crowds like this?
This is really nice. You know, when you're out there, you know, you're racing and you just do your thing and you're going after somebody in front of you or trying to run from somebody behind you. But when you know people are watching, that's what makes it, it's just great. A lot of fans here yesterday too for the TA2 race. Anyway, thank you everybody. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you, 3GT. Genelozzi, thank you very much for choosing me to come drive your wicked car. And thank you, Trans Am. Thank you, everybody.
I love it. Tommy Dreesy putting on a show as always. Paul, this has to feel awesome. Hometown win. Kids, family, mom's here. Is it cool to be back up on top?
It is. You know, it's always great to wake up in your own bed on race day, and yeah, thanks for everybody coming out. I see some old Menards racing apparel there, so that's cool. Just a chaotic race. We had an awesome weekend. Ken Thwaites is building the Showtime Motorsports up to be a contender, and I think we showed it today that the tools are here. You know, the race was we had speed all weekend. I knew if we could just maintain a gap, we could conserve tires, because these tires are just too soft for this racetrack. So we just knew that going in, maintain tires. Saw a lot of attrition. I lost radio about 20 laps in, so I had no idea what position. I didn't know we won until we got on pit road. So yeah, caution came out. I thought it was a double. I don't know the rules on the flags, so Tommy got by me. I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go past him again. So so I got by him. Then the white came out. I'm like, all right. And then the checker came out, and that's when I kind of figured we won, because there was a car in front of me that didn't get the checkered, and I got it. So I'm like, all right, I think this is good.
I love that. Got to come to drivers' meetings more often. That's awesome. He saw the white flag. He knew what the white flag meant. He knew what the checker flag meant. That is so cool. Have a NASCAR legend here with us. Look right up there at Chris, our photographer. And what an honor it is to say Amy Ruman, Tommy Dreese, Paul Menard. That is so cool. With the Menard's rear wing on that beautiful FranklinRoad.com car. Paul, we've had a lot of fun with you the last couple weeks. I hope you come back and race in Trans Am again. Back up on the top. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Amy Ruman, Tommy Dreese, Paul Menard. So cool. Ken Thwaites, that's got to feel pretty good. He says, I'll take it. Uh-oh. What are we doing here? Absolutely. Oh. I don't know what happened, but I felt like Paul was trying to be a gentleman, and Tommy Dreese's like, that's not going to happen here. Amy Ruman, Tommy Dreese, Paul Menard. That is cool. And we will have some Franklin Road family photos up here in a little bit. Don't worry. Amy, Tommy, it looks like you guys are excused, but Paul, you got to stay up here. We have a few more awards for you. Amco Gears. I saw Larry Bishop. Larry, you want to come up here? But man, this is your chance. This is a legend up here. All right. Larry Bishop from Amco Gears, our Top Gear award goes to Paul Menard. Hold up that Happy Gilmore check. $500 worth of Amco Gears. Obviously, the best gears in the business, because it seems like they're here every time up here. And then the chill out moment. Tommy Dreese, put on your earmuffs. The chill out moment was that last lap pass over Tommy Dreese to win the chill out systems, $250 to keep you cool in the car. Paul Menard. How cool is that? All right, hold on. Don't go yet. Yeah, I don't know. Where's Gary? Gary, come up. What do you want, dude? Everybody, this is Gary Seelix, and he's been over like pestering me. He's like, wants the mic. Let's hear it for Gary Seelix. Gary, buddy. Take the mic, Gary.
No, don't need it. You don't need it.
He says he don't need it. Champagne? Come on, let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. We just had a first.
Should I get comments? Should I get comments?
Make it talk.
All right, I'm going to do the impossible. I'm going to try to get Gary Seelix to say something.
Thanks for coming out. Good job, Paul.
Did she say yes?
She said yes.
She said yes, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Ken Thwaites.
Yes.
Papa Bear, that's got to feel pretty good.
I got a tear in my eye too, you know. I was crying because we stuffed it in the first turn wall, and then I was just crying because Gary's been talking about that all weekend long, and I'm glad he got it off his chest, and I'm glad she said yes, baby!
And all the hugs come in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a Franklin Road Apparel family photo up here. Chris, are you good? Okay, that does it for the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Jonathan and Adam, I'm going to send it back up to you guys up in the booth. Gary, congratulations.
Well, plenty going on down there. Thanks, Ben Sissel, as always, and a great way to finish the weekend with a proposal, no less, another marriage.
Yeah, congratulations, Gary Jr., right? I mean, they're...
Glad she said yes.
Yeah.
That would have been a bit of a letdown.
That's because Tabitha and I didn't get the whole chance to talk to her first. No, I'm teasing, of course. No, congratulations. You're going to have a very happy life together and a long one, so congrats.
So, as you saw, checks being awarded for various things, but one, of course, is a very important one that we will cover right now, and that is our Chill Out Systems move of the day. Keep cool move of the race, I should say. Chill Out Systems. And here, of course, is Paul Menard for the lead over Amy Ruman. That was the decisive into the bus stop move. Tommy didn't make it through, but he would do later. But Paul Menard, a nicely done time pass into the bus stop. Amy Ruman, though, I didn't think would fight hard against that. And that is your Chill Out, Keep Cool move of the race. So with Charlotte in the distance, wonderful shot that is, and a beautiful place to be, a lovely part of the countryside. Adam, enjoyed your weekend?
I have. You know, it's like coming home a little bit because, like I said, I lived here for about 10 years. When I met my wife, I was living here, so we lived our first years together in this area, and so yeah, it was a little bit like coming home. We went to our favorite barbecue place, and we got out of here with a good run and had great Trans Am racing all weekend. Everyone's safe and sound, and yeah, it's beautiful to see the Queen City from a distance, and but we'll put this one in our rearview mirror and move on to Road Atlanta here in a real short time.
Yes, and if you're still tuning in, you can watch the Trans Am race from Charlotte on the 25th of March at 7 p.m. Eastern, and it'll also be repeated at 1 a.m. Eastern on the 30th. And also the TA2 race will be at 2:30 Eastern on the 26th of the 3rd, and will be repeated on the 31st at 12 a.m. Eastern. So tune in for that. Atlanta is only a week away. The cars will be loaded up here from Charlotte, and we'll head up to Atlanta as we do it all again. My thanks to Adam Andretti, to Ben Sissel, and the entire crew. I'm Jonathan Green. My thanks to everybody here, especially Franklin Road Apparel, for putting on the show. We'll see you in Atlanta.
As you can tell, I like to go fast. Our race team is really well prepared. We like to look good, but we also like to dress good, and that's why we shop at Franklin Road Apparel. I own the company, and I wear the clothes that we sell in that store. So check us out. We carry all the top brands: Baldwin, John Barbados, Billy Reed, Goodman brand, and on down the list. So come see us. Franklin Road Apparel, Franklin, Tennessee.
Lightweighting means reducing mass and consolidating parts. No one tackles these design and tooling challenges better than 3-Dimensional Services. We'll provide flexible tooling solutions, including integrating parts, reducing design complexity, or even design changes. We're the go-to source for rapid manufacturing and low-volume production. Trust 3-Dimensional Services to develop the most efficient approach to meet your lightweighting challenges today. 3-Dimensional Services. Prototype, production, proven.
Menards is the Midwest's ultimate home improvement store. Family owned since 1958, Menards is the one-stop shop where you always save big money. Get the Midwest's best selection nationwide when you shop online at Menards.com. We make it easy to complete your projects around the house, big or small. From hardware to plumbing or paint to appliances, we carry it all. Visit Menards.com today to save big money at Menards.